Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the special edition of the Make We Talk program with yours truly, Jeffrey T. My co-host is none other than our good friend Head Boy. Wherever you're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, welcome to the program. I'm going to let Head Boy open up the program this afternoon. Head Boy, over to you. Welcome.
Good evening to you, Jeffrey. Good evening to your listeners that are listening far and wide, those in the diaspora and those in Jamaica. I want to greet them. I want to wish for them tomorrow a blessed Ash Wednesday. If you are a celebrator of the Christian faith and if you participate in this period of Lent, I wish them, all the best that Lent has to offer. Now, Jeffrey, I want to take a look at this evening. My thoughts are with the people of Clarendon Central. And
before you go that, Head Boy, before you do that, I know your thoughts on them, but I want you to open up the program in a sense that what's on your mind.
Okay.
Overall about Jamaica and the wider, what's on your mind? Then we can go into the segment to that. All right? Go ahead.
Well, what's on my mind? I don't know if you have heard, but when we look, we're in a world now that needs leadership. There's a leadership crisis across the world. Yeah? back home in Jamaica and in the United States, the world is suffering from real leadership. It is suffering from a real sense of people who have purpose, people who are coming to leadership not just for themselves, but real servant leadership. When we look at what is happening now in the United States and with Canada and the United States, there's a glooming trade war. They, who would believe, who would believe that the United States and its greatest ally outside of the Great Britain would be at a stage where they would now be having disputes over trade. The world is a changing place. And what we are observing now is a change in dynamics in the world, in how governments and uh, not even governments, but how different administrations are operating. We have in Europe a very tense Europe tonight as we speak, Jeffrey. We have a situation where the United States has frozen the aid to Ukraine.
Hmm.
We have a situation where Europe is now asking the question that what should they do? What role should they now play? So we are staying, if you want to put it painstakingly, and in a more vivid term, we're staring down in the barrel of a gun.
Hmm.
And this world gun is having serious implications for us back home in Jamaica. When we look at to the courts in the United States with the USAID. Just yesterday, the United States Supreme Court ruled that there is a stay, an injunction of stay, that the USAID must pay $2 billion outstanding amount to
Ho-
suppliers.
Headboy, hold your thoughts there for me. I have a call online from Miss P. Want to say something to you before we start the program. Miss P, go ahead.
Yeah, evening, boy. Good evening. I want you to help me carry something. I see a news around class where the Prime Minister get approved from the World Bank for 192 million. He have to do something with some private and disaster something. Because why you fix it for me, make it understanding of what that's for.
No
Say
problem.
the money it approved from the World Bank and have to fund some private something like that and in case of a disaster. So me I will listen, me I like it, get break it down for me.
All right.
No problem. No problem.
All
So
right, Miss P. Thanks for calling.
that's on our agenda.
Yes.
That's what's on the agenda. So we add that to the agenda, Jeffrey,
Mm-hmm.
for us to look at this World Bank approval for Jamaica.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. You want me to go ahead now, or you gonna continue?
yeah, but as I close in my opening remarks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the world is, as I said, the world is a changing place. Who would believe that USAID would now be the greatest aid agency in the world, the greatest aid agency that represents the American people's commitment to the world, would now be in this sort of quagmire that it now finds itself. I ask, I ask the question: what world are we living in?
Hmm. And
And as we
and
make comparisons with Jamaica, we see in Jamaica an administration that has no respect for the rule of law. We see an administration that is hell bent on making Portmore the 15th parish with no infrastructure to support it. We are living in a changing world. That's my thoughts, and I'm sticking to it.
That is our good friend Headboy, my co-host. As he talk about the trade war between the United States and Canada and other allies of the United States, I wanted to listen to what Justin Trudeau is saying, the Prime Minister of Canada. This is what Justin Trudeau is saying.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time to allow Canadian companies and supply chains to seek to find alternatives. Ce soir, j'annonce la réplique du Canada.
There you have it, the Prime Minister of Canada pushing back on what is going on. As we start the program tonight, we're going to start the program awaiting the arrival of Mr. KD Knight, former Minister of National Security and former Senator. We're waiting him to come on. But as we start the program tonight, we have to segue into something that is happening on the news, within the news in our country, Jamaica. And we need to let you all know about this. As we come on air, we have this to share it with you.
This is Make We Talk breaking news.
There is a special item of news coming into a news center where Minister of Local Government Desmond McKenzie is filing a lawsuit against Damian Crawford. And we have more in this to give to you. Let us listen to what they're saying. We have more in this to give to you where Desmond McKenzie is putting a lawsuit against Damian Crawford. Here we go.
President made allegations concerning says that Damian Crawford, who is a former PNP vice president, made allegations concerning the use of resources from the Equalization Fund. He also made disparaging comments about Minister McKenzie's character. Minister Desmond McKenzie's attorney, Lamar Neal, fired back today and told Crawford that his allegations are patently false. Crawford was told that his false and reckless utterances are particularly egregious given his position as a lawmaker. The opposition senator was told that his statements have caused a serious injury to Minister McKenzie's professional and business reputation. Crawford has been told to publish a retraction of the statements on all digital platforms, including his social media pages, as well as in the print media, giving it greater prominence than what was afforded to his offending publication. The opposition senator has also been told to tender a full and unreserved apology to Minister McKenzie. He's also been asked not to publish any further defamatory statements about the cabinet minister. The opposition senator has also been told to enter into discussions with McKenzie's legal team about compensating the West Kingston MP for damage done. McKenzie's legal team says that should Crawford fail to act as directed within 3 days, then he's under instruction to proceed with a defamation lawsuit. Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
Headboy, as we come on air, we get that news there. Your thoughts on it? Headboy?
No, I'm with you.
Yes, your thoughts on it.
My first question is, can Desmond spell the word Sue? You know, but let me not be facetious. Let me behave myself tonight and be on my good behavior. But you know, is it possible for you to remove the image, Jeffrey? Because boy, yeah, it's a very hard look. Desmond, the political battle is taking its toll on Desmond. But I don't see the need, and we're entering into the politics. We're entering the silly season. Yeah? And what is happening in Jamaica is the JLP is using this argument of suing. Everything somebody said they sue them. Yeah?
Yes.
Everything they threaten you with suing. Because them alone can sue. And them alone have liar. Yeah? So my
Hmm.
view is Desmond should I don't know if he can spell the word, so I'm just asking if he could. But I hope he can. But nothing will come of this because the request is that he must apologize within 3 days. If I'm advising Damon Crawford, my very good friend, I'd tell Damon, tender an apology. It not take nothing from you to tender an apology. But
Yes.
just tender an apology and make Desmond go away. Don't give Desmond a relevance. Yeah? Because Desmond is shame that the kickback and the pushback from the people of Portmore. But when you err in judgment, you apologize. It take a big man to apologize. Yeah?
Right. Right.
Apologize and move on.
As we're talking about that also, headboard, do you want to speak about what Miss P asked you a while ago? Are you want to go straight into Clarendon?
No, seeing that she put it on the agenda, we can deal with it because we're on the agenda items.
Known to most of us as squash.
Sorry.
Right, the loan Miss P is referring to is a World Bank approved 192 million loan, which equates to, my numbers are not good. I'm going to give them the number in JMD very soon.
Mm-hmm.
But the loan is intended to help Jamaica build resilience in natural hazards and protect vulnerable communities while supporting also the private sector development.
Mm-hmm.
The loan will help Jamaica attract foreign investments. It will help Jamaica create jobs and improve quality of life. But I thought we had sufficient jobs. But let me just go through what it's going to be and I respond. It will help Jamaica reduce poverty. You hear this? And foster sustainable growth.
Uh-huh.
It will help Jamaica strengthen its business environment. And it will help Jamaica strengthen its disaster risk management. How the loan will be used? The loan includes a special option that allows Jamaica to quickly access the funds in the event of a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
The loan will support reforms aimed at enhancing Jamaica's business environment. So it is to improve the ease of doing business, as they would say, right?
Right.
So really and truly, whether or not I believe that the government at this time should be taking a loan, because Andrew Holness had made a commitment to us long time ago that they would reduce the debt.
And the debt has not been reduced.
And this now is going to further create a problem with our debt burden. Because what is happening? If you look at the scenario, why is an outgoing government going for $192 million from the World Bank?
That's a good question.
Why is an administration that is not going to possibly be the one to service that debt incurring more debt? Desperate and desperate and desperate. That is my
Hmm.
thought on that loan. Right? But here what happened. Let me tell Andrew this because Andrew don't understand how World Bank loan go. If him can access 20%, him can maybe only access 20% of that loan. Jamaican people, watch out for the vote buying. Me I say it, I mean I hold on my mouth. Watch out for the vote buying. Watch out for what this loan, because this loan is intended. You hear where it is intended for poverty reduction, job creation. Now, why is the government of Jamaica going to because them frame the loan, when you go to the World Bank to beg them a
Mm-hmm.
loan, you said, this is when we're going to take the loan and do with it. It's like when you go at the bank and you say to the bank, this is what I intend to do with the loan. Now, why is this thing that this man keeps on saying and lying to the Jamaican people that, oh, we have the job unemployment is at its lowest. Yeah, it will help.
I heard them with it this morning. Even the Minister of State in the Ministry of National Insecurity.
No study she. Bad word minister?
Yes, bad word minister.
No study she. She look relevant. No, it will help Jamaica to reduce poverty. This is one of the things where we've been saying here that the World Bank report said that over 70% of Jamaicans are barely having a proper meal.
Mm.
So this is confirming, because why would the World Bank give them money to reduce poverty if poverty not exists?
And according to them, employment is low.
You want to know how low employment is?
Yes.
Most of the employment, Jeffrey, that is happening. So 700,000 Jamaicans are not seeking jobs. You hear what I say?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nah, look, none. They don't want none. They're not interested in a none. Yeah? And then not some of them not even in the position to apply for none. So they not waste the time. There's a new industry that is emerging in Jamaica.
Yes.
You know what is that new industry is called?
Tell me.
Similar like how you and I on social media bang me out, and YouTube now banging me out about the issues of the country. There's an industry that is being created among our young women, and in some instances, some of our otherwise inclined young men.
No.
That is called the OnlyFans industry.
Oh yes, I heard of it. It's always on was it Twitter now? No, what they call Twitter now? X.
It used to be an X, so it's an X. A lot of these persons are on OnlyFans. And may God have mercy when you see what some of our young ladies today. By the way, Jeffrey, let me pause in extending an happy International Women's Day to our women.
Oh yes.
That is due on Saturday. It's really due on Saturday, but it was celebrated today by the cabinet. So the cabinet of Jamaica celebrated International Women's Day. And you know the irony of it is, Andrew Holness went to the International Women's Day celebration at cabinet and issue White Rose. Him give Zara Burton one. Yeah?
He gave Zara one?
Yeah, Zara was cracking up. I'm going to send you the clip.
Please send it to me because I don't think Andrew like a bone in Zara.
Let me send you the clip. And let me tell you, right? In my reference to this International Women's Day, Andrew Holness is a hypocrite, an international hypocrite.
But hold on there for me before you go any further. I want to say good evening to one of Jamaica's finest state women of all time, Ambassador Aluma Samba. I know she's watching me. Good evening to you, Ambassador. Happy Women's Day when it comes, because you have been a source of inspiration. You have been a source of everything to the people of this country. You have represent Jamaica well, Ambassador. And I lift my hat to you, and I'm telling you, there's so many love out there in this country for you as a former ambassador for Jamaica. Go ahead for me, I'm head boy.
Right. And I'm saying in the midst of International Women's Day, Andrew Holness has the gall, the guts, to come to us and say that he's celebrating International Women's Day, when amongst his ranks is a man who took a stool and beat a woman.
Hold on there. I'm glad you went down that road, head boy. Hold on a minute there. Because I was going to speak about that. Let me make you listen to what the Prime Minister said. And the Prime Minister have a woman beater in the Parliament. Listen to this.
And as Prime Minister, I am proud to stand at the helm of a government that recognizes the vital contributions of women to the success of our country. I'm especially proud of the women that serve in my cabinet, 5 women, and I believe that would be the most ever in any cabinet. And the women who serve as members of parliament in the parliament, we note as well that 38% of the Senate are women.
Head boy, go ahead, because I wonder sometimes if this man know what he's saying.
Let me tell you something. Riffraff or riffraff. I want thing, I can't help myself. Me have to talk out loud. Me have to bawl out. A lot of the women that serve in Andrew Holness's cabinet are the underperforming ministers. And I'm not trying to disrespect any woman and women and in celebrating Women's Day. But let's be real. Marlene Malahou foot or fort or tort, whatever she want to be.
Uh-huh.
Her performance has been failing. Dismal performance at best. They move her from AG because she get licks till she tired. Right? Then they send her a constitutional reform. Right? And she has bundled the process of constitutional reform.
Yeah.
We have a Babsy Grange who now do nothing for sports. Yeah? Nothing for entertainment. Right? And I'm not being you could see the clip. I'm not being unfair in my assessment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a bad word minister who they had at Ministry of Health first. Then they take her, bring her go national security. All she look over a prison and child care facilities. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that they're offering to the no mention Abina, Rattigan beaten stick. I mean, sorry, Rattigan in Rattigan's love. Yeah?
You mean the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade?
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade that
Yeah.
nobody wants to see in the OECS or CARICOM. Yeah?
Why you say that then, head boy?
Because CARICOM and the smaller islands, they have not forgiven her for what she did to Baroness Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize that before this administration came to power, when Portia was there as Prime Minister, would have gotten a lot of visits from leaders from the Eastern Caribbean?
True.
When last you see a Prime Minister from the Eastern Caribbean come to Jamaica?
Apart from the invitation of the PNP inviting Mayor Motley.
And then before
Motley, right.
Grenada Prime Minister,
Right.
Con Mitchell, outside of the political, meaning the sister parties association, there has not been any state visit from one of the OECS members.
True. Hold on for me, head boy. As you're just joining us, wherever you're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, it is now 6:49. At 7 o'clock, we're supposed to be joined by former Minister of National Security, former Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and former Senator, the Honorable KD Knight. He's supposed to be joining us at 7 p.m. Head boy, go ahead.
Right. So I'm saying, so her tenure as Minister of Foreign Affairs has been one of low and dismal performance.
Mm-hmm.
She has not brought anything to the fore. The Jamaican taxpayers, lest we forget, took up monies to spend for her candidacy. Then the private sector took up money and couldn't explain why they were spending money behind Kamina, sorry. Right? Her legacy will be a legacy that she presided over the death of Jamaica's relationship with Venezuela, a country who has always remembered Jamaica from as far back as Simon Bolivar, the founding father of Venezuela and Colombia. Yeah? The freedom fighter whose statue is stand up in the right upper hero circle. I him there with the hat pan him head and the sword in his hand. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So this woman's performance has been quite dismal to say the least. Right? If he wanted to celebrate any woman, it should not have been women in the cabinet. That is the point I'm trying to make.
Yes.
Now, Flavel Williams, don't even mention poor Flavel. She might be one of the better performers of the lot. I want him to give credit where credit due, you know. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So out of all the ones he had there, the five him name, And let me remind Andrew Holness that he is actually not speaking the truth totally to say he has had the most women in cabinet. Right? Count with me. I'm like to distort facts,
Right.
You had Lisa Hanna in Portia
Yes.
Simpson's cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
You had Portia, the head of the cabinet. You had Natalie Nita Headley, the head of minister without portfolio. She was in cabinet still. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You had did I say Lisa Hanna?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so Lisa Hanna, Portia, Natalie. You had Sharon Folks Abrahams. Yeah. You with me?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
so I'm just up by one then.
Yes.
Did I leave out any other woman?
You didn't talk about Denise Daly.
But Denise was not in the cabinet of Portia.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes.
She was not in the cabinet of Portia. So yes, he would have beaten Portia by one. But really, you could take out the bad word minister because the bad word minister just hold up space. So let's give him. But I am saying, and the point that I'm making, and I'm maybe making it a little bit too simple, but tokenization, we don't want you to offer us women just because of token. And the JLP has always been at that. They tokenize women. They put them in positions because they want to say them have women in positions.
But not only that, head boy. How is it that we have a prime minister who has not spoken or speaking about the man who it's alleged that he beat a woman with a stool in Westmoreland? You heard nothing about the prime minister saying anything about that.
Andrew, I tell you now, and tonight, Jeffrey, and for your listeners, forgive me, but tonight I'm going to speak the truth, nothing but the truth, and the stinking truth.
Go ahead, man.
The stinking truth is Andrew Holness is an international hypocrite, yeah, an IHP, yeah, an international hypocrite,
and a disgrace to the nation.
You are telling me that you are coming to promote women, and on the eve, remember now it's about 2 weeks ago, then bring the man come back,
Mm-hmm.
You knew that International Women's Day was coming, and you bring this man back into the party fold, right? And you're having him run on a JLP ticket, and you come today to say I celebrate woman, and Babsy, Babsy, you're an embarrassment. You have lost your way. You are somebody who Portia always tell us to respect and regard because she saw you as a sister. But to tell you the truth, Miss Grange, I am absolutely disappointed in you because I would have expected you as somebody who spoke about a woman who have been abused and battered. And it is alleged that you have been battered too. It is alleged. I would expect that you would have identified with the victims of abuse. Yeah? And to see you rubber stamping because she's the most senior woman. She's like the mother in the party. Right?
True.
She's the mother in the party. And to see that Babsy can get up and stand up and say, no, Andrew, this man must not run another term. Let me remind the country, when Portia Simpson Miller was prime minister, and Lisa Hanna was Minister of Culture, there was an individual that was at the Ministry of Culture that was going around molesting people, picnic. I saying it plain.
Yes.
Portia got wind of it. Lisa tell Portia about it. And Portia said, no, you can't enter the ministry. You can't enter the ministry. Not in a FIMI government. The person had a prominent post without naming them. And she said, no, him can't serve in my ministry. When she went on the platform the same year, she said, leave the little children, you little demon.
I remember that.
Leave the people's children, demon. Yeah?
And
then Portia and Lisa never stop until they get him out the ministry. The civil service had to fire him because he was troubling little boys.
What I don't understand though, head boy, is it that our morals and values has gone from this country that we still have a person who sits in the parliament who was seen in a viral video alleged him beating a woman with a stool, and he still sits in the parliament?
Jeffrey, let me tell you, and let me be real with you. Let me tell you what is really happening in Jamaica. What is happening in Jamaica is that there is a set of persons who have lost the integrity. They don't have no only integrity. Yeah? And what is happening with them is that they are blinded by their political persuasion, and they
Yeah.
cannot engage in having any form of integrity. Can't speak on nothing. If it's you do it or me do it, they're quick to come out. Yeah?
Mhm.
But once it is not amongst them, they have nothing to say. Once it's amongst them, I mean, they have nothing to say. And this is one of the problems that Jamaica faces. Look at as we talk about the same point, and I don't want us to lose our fight. Look at the sexual. Imagine, Prime Minister, you come to celebrate Women's Day. Where is the sexual offenders registry? Where is the
Indeed.
sexual offenders registry? You are celebrating Women's Day. Today, if it was Portia and she come announce Women's Day, should have come with something and say, this is my announcement. We have passed the sexual offenders registry and we're going to implement it. They have put the sexual offenders registry with the Department of Correctional Services. Where the hell, and pardon me expression, the Department of Correctional Services has to do with sexual offenders registry? We need to fix this situation.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to fix it. We need
And not only that, and not only fix the situation in the head, boy. I think that the women of this country, or the women in the parliament of Jamaica, they're too quiet. They only speak on issues that they see fit to speak on, but the main issue they're not speaking on it. And when you have a prime minister going to come out now and say this to the Jamaican people, you wonder if he's all up there.
And as Prime Minister, I am proud to stand at the helm of a government that recognizes the vital contributions of women to the success of our country. I'm especially proud of the women that serve in my cabinet, 5 women, and I believe that would be the most ever in any cabinet. And the women who serve as members of parliament in the parliament, we note as well that 38% of the Senate are women.
Yes. 38 in the Senate are women. I want you to look on this head boy when he was giving Zara the photo, the flowers. Head boy, you there with us?
I'm here, brother. I'm here.
Here it is. Wow. Wow. What you say about that head boy? What are you saying about that?
And every kin teeth a laugh, and be careful of those who bear gifts.
I want to switch gear.
Without being cynical, my information is that the Prime Minister never knew he was going to give out flowers until he reached there.
No, what I was told, he never was going to give out flowers until they came inside the room with the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't already going to give out anything.
So, no worried, Mr. PR. You hear them talk out and stunting? That's him, man. Him out and stunting. Full of PR.
I want to start until we see the arrival of Mr. KD Knight. I want to start some. Pardon me?
No, I'm saying absolutely.
I want to start something here. that we're supposed to do last month. I didn't get the chance to do it. I want to start something here with Damian Crawford educating the Parliament and the people of Jamaica. Listen to this.
Mr. Speaker, before we go into what we believe is the crux of the matter, there are some needs to correct some misstatements that have been made in this House. And I'll get to that soon. And previously in other houses and in the public. The first, unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, is somehow the concoction, Mr. President, is the concoction that Portmore is the vision of Edward Seaga.
Let's clear that up.
Let's clear that up. I turn, Mr. President, to, indeed, what can go so. I turn, Mr. President, to no less of a source than the Jamaica Library Service. Mr. President, the Jamaica Library Service indicates that a company was formed called the Portmore Land Development Company. They purchased the property from Caymanas Estate with the intention to establish housing development. In the 1950s, Kingston ran out of flat space for development. So housing development in Portmore was seen as a response to the great outcry for housing. The article goes on to say, before development began, a dike had to be constructed to contain Rio Cobre, and a causeway had to be built to connect Kingston to Portmore. The lowlands also had to be filled by dredging the harbour and quarrying marl from Port Henderson Hill. Once this was completed, the development of housing could begin. From 1956, under Norman Washington Man. How then could they have come to claim? And I give credit where credit is due. As president of the PMPYO, we rewarded Edward Seaga for the formation of HEART. We had a whole dinner for him, he came. Mr. Seaga would have been confused by what he's seen from the Jamaica Labour Party.
Head boy, your take on that, I'm going to play clip 2. Go ahead, head boy.
No, Jeffrey, it is straightforward. It is straightforward. Yes. I don't even have to add nothing to it. They are, the JLP should change their name to the Jamaica International Hypocrite Association. Yeah? They are a bunch of hypocrites and liars who are trying to distort truth. And they must stop it. That's my view.
All right, let's play clip 2.
In fact, if there's any polarization of the people, it is corrected by both parties agreeing to go with whatever the referendum calls for. But for some reason, a referendum is not being considered. I heard my friend KC colleague say that we should make decisions. We the 63, or we the 3 million? Because the we cannot be reserved for just the parliamentarian.
The will of the people.
And the we is not reserved in this Jamaica. That's out of many one people for just those who are descendants of slaves. It also must be considering those who are descendants of the Chinese who came as indentured servants and the Indians, the Europeans who came and invested. It must be a reflection of out of many. Therefore, a referendum is a true reflection of the motto of Jamaica, because the many will speak.
That's right.
But they want to reserve it to where a few will speak. We say that the people of Portmore should be able to speak on their own behalf.
Head boy.
Yes, my brother.
All what Damian Crawford is saying is a factual truth, you know. Your take on all of that. And then we're going to switch over to what is going on in Central Clarendon.
Argument is argument, and there's nothing you can do to counter argument. These are facts, and no one could say no to them. Yeah? No one could say no to them. So, Damon is in fact correct. It's correct. Why should 63 decide for 3 million? Or 63 decide for 300,000 in Portmore?
Yes.
It is. And we have, I listened to you, Jeffrey, and on Rattigan's program on Saturday. Oh, that was
Yes.
a wonderful program by Professor Rosalie Hamilton. Somebody I have the
Indeed.
highest regard for. From being while she was a lecturer at UTech and worked closely with Lasco and Laschin, and I work in Trenton and inner city communities. And it is clear to me that there are certain persons in Parliament in Jamaica who believe that they have power. It is the people of Jamaica who have the power. It is the people who can actually write their put on the agenda for the member of Parliament. And Rosalie made the point to raise issues in the Parliament. So it's not you send yourself there. So you shouldn't go there go represent your view. You should be representing the view of the people. And until our parliamentarians understand that they are not there to toe political party lines. Yeah. Now, if the position of the party is a position that is widely accepted throughout the country, then you should posit that position. But if the position, and this is the problem I have with the JLP. The JLP did the same thing when they were doing the NIDS bill. This is not the first. They did the same thing with the state of emergency. They lose a court. They lose the NIDS bill at court, right? And they're now going to lose this bill at Portmore in court. And I'm warning EOJ because I heard something today that the EOJ is saying they need time to implement the boundaries. Implement which boundaries? Change which boundaries? I dare the EOJ. You cannot change the boundaries when you done did right them and tell them say it cannot be done now.
So hold on there. They wrote them and tell it cannot be done, and all of a sudden they want to change things around. That make no sense at all.
Didn't you hear the story today on your favorite station, Gustavo FM?
No, I didn't hear it at all.
Yes, the EOJ director Glaspole Brown said in the news headlines at 12 that they are considering now. They're waiting once the bill is gazetted, right? They will proceed to make the necessary boundary adjustments. But I am saying,
is that so?
Yes, I am saying there ought to be no boundary changes. Because you can't write to the man say the thing not supposed to. Remember now, Glaspole Brown is not an ECJ director. And Glaspole Brown, you're showing let me not say what I was going to say here. It is clear that there's some apparent bias here. Because why is if the ECJ directors write the Prime Minister? It's not Glaspole Brown right them, it's the ECJ directors write him, Commissioners, of the ECJ. So how the hell Glaspole Brown going to get up now saying that they're waiting on bill to be gazetted when the same letter you tell them it said the damn thing is unconstitutional?
And if something's unconstitutional, something's unconstitutional, so why are you going back on what you said?
I am warning the People's National Party, please stop making noise and go into the court. Please stop the noise and file the case.
I want to, as we segue into another section of the program, we're still awaiting the arrival of Mr. KD Knight. Head boy, I want to play something here from your favorite government senator. I think you know who I'm talking.
Idat Amin?
Yes. The government senator Morgan is rejecting opposition leader Mark Golding's claim that the country could be in a worse state if the Jamaica Labour Party should get a third term. And I want you all to listen to what he was saying.
In Hartford, Connecticut, speaking to PNP supporters in Hartford, Connecticut recently, opposition leader Mark Golding asserted the party will have a very tough time removing the JLP from government. He also lamented that the PNP's message is not being boosted by the media.
We have a very difficult task ahead of us. But if Jamaica doesn't get a change of government now, I don't know what kind of state we're going to be, because we have a corrupt government, a power-hungry government, and they're supported by the elite, and the media is bought out by them too. So it's not an easy road to trod the road that we are treading, comrades. It's not going to be easy to get them out, because, you know, the news, the things that we put out don't get covered.
Mr. Golding also noted that the PNP is reluctant to share their plans for the country should they form the next government, out of fear their ideas may be stolen. But in a response on Monday, Government Senator Marlon Morgan dismissed the PNP president's claims as disingenuous and baseless.
I know that the opposition leader doesn't seem to have had a good weekend, but while we're at it, I, on behalf of the Jamaica Labour Party, want to reject the suggestion by the opposition leader that were the Jamaica Labour Party to be returned for a third successive term of government, the country would be in a perilous state. I want to dismiss that suggestion as alarmist, disingenuous, and baseless, because the truth of the matter is that the opposition leader, in referencing corruption, went on to mention that if Jamaica doesn't get a change of government, he doesn't know what kind of state we're going to be.
Senator Morgan asserted that Jamaica has instead thrived under the Andrew Holness-led administration.
The opposition leader speaking about corruption is like Vladimir Putin speaking about world peace. It is no different from Saudi Arabia speaking about women's rights, or Omar Davies and PJ Patterson speaking about fiscal discipline and responsibility. The Jamaica that we have at present is a Jamaica that is strong and stable in terms of our economic management. We are resilient, so much so that a ratings agency pre-burial could have ascribed to us post-burial and Raphael and so on the same grade that we got pre-burial. This is a Jamaica where there has been no new taxes for 8 successive years, whereas the PNP's plan is to come and tax the people of Jamaica.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide.
Head boy, come on in and give. I want your views on what this government senator has said, and then we're gonna play something else, where the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Libby Smith, along with some other political people, been saying that Mark Golding should have never said what he said about the press association or the press being bought out by certain media houses in this country. The JLP bought out the press in certain media houses in this country. Go ahead.
You know, does the rule still apply that empty barrels make the most noise?
I think so.
Because I mean, Senator Morgan, let me behave myself. Senator Morgan is out of place and out of touch with the realities, and he's rude. And let me say why he's rude. On God's earth, could Senator Morgan speak the way he has spoken about making comparisons with Russia, and then saying, how could Saudi Arabia, it's like Saudi Arabia talking about women's rights? He's rude. And the Minister of Foreign Affairs needs to rein in Marlon Morgan, because what he's doing to our international partners, the Saudis, by the way, who have desires to invest in Jamaica, he's disrespecting these people. Where in Saudi Arabia is women's right not being observed? Women are now being allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia under Prince Bill MBS,
yes.
Right? Prince Bill Salman. Women are now allowed the right to work under Mohammed bin Salman. So let us fact check this liar. So when you're making comparisons and analogy, please go get your facts correct, sir. Yeah? And it is also disrespectful to our international partner like a Russia to say it's like Russia talking about peace. I mean, Marlon, do you understand what international relations mean? Do you understand that you're no longer the send out boy? You understand you don't have a title? Yes, you're the send out boy, but do you not understand you have a title called senator? And what you say carries weight behind it?
I don't think they do, you know. I think they just have to run off their mouth, and that is why the People's National Party need a public PR team that when you have utterance like these come out, they can debunk it. I want you to listen to exactly what opposition leader Mark Golan said in New Jersey. Listen to this.
We have a very difficult task ahead of us. Yeah. But if Jamaica doesn't get a change of government now, I don't know what kind of state we're going to be. You know, because we have a corrupt government and a power-hungry government. And they're supported by the elite. And the media is bought out by them too. So it's not an easy road to trod the road that we are treading, comrades. It is not going to be easy to get them out. Because, you know, the news, the things that we put out don't get covered. You know, even today, there's a poll being run right now. It's a independent, I think it was paid for by some business people, a Don Anderson poll. The key metric in any poll is voter intention. Who do you intend to vote for? That's the key metric. Today they published it on a Saturday, which is the lowest sales of any newspaper today, when it shows that the PNP is 5% ahead. You know, we were at 9 at the end of September, so we have come off a bit. The Labour Party hasn't got any of that. They are where they were. It's the undecided that have grown. In the meantime, they've had their conference, they've had the Spark program, they've had the Reserve Income Tax Credit, which is essentially a $20,000 grant to over 300,000 people. They've just been spending money to try and get themselves back to where they were. And we have been a bit cautious in putting out our ideas because we have found on multiple occasions that they tend to be appropriated by the Labour Party. And then there we have a very difficult task ahead of us.
I want you now to listen to what the president of the Press Association of Jamaica and also a People's National Party former speaker. He's also the editor-in-chief of the Western Mirror, Lloyd B. Smith. Listen to what he said on Nationwide News.
Dashan Hendricks. Good afternoon. Let me start with you, Mr. President. Your members have been bought out by this JLP government?
Well, I laugh when you ask me because I would find it really and truly egregious if there is any belief among any government or opposition that a media landscape in Jamaica, as diverse as we are, can be bought out. I don't know how you buy out the media in Jamaica. We're too diverse, we're too independent. If you buy one, everybody going to know. If you buy all, everybody going to know. So I understand that.
The opposition leader seems to be suggesting that because the government has the support of the elites, that may be part of the reason why, you know, they may have the wherewithal to do that.
Well, Ricardo, I don't know. I couldn't answer the question whether or not they have the wherewithal from the elite to buy out the media or not. I honestly don't know. But the accusation that the government has bought out the media is among is a pattern that we are seeing in the political landscape where both not just the opposition, but both major political parties increasingly resorting to undermining the media credibility when coverage doesn't align with their interest. And so I said it last year that we are expecting to continue to see the rhetoric continue in the way it is going to be. It's going to happen both government and opposition, especially as we are coming into the silly season. But Jamaica as a nation and the media landscape, we are consistently ranked among the top countries globally for press freedom. Mm-hmm. And so when political leaders make such broad accusations of the media in terms of bias and corruption and being bought out, they are politically eroding the standing and the public's trust in essential democratic institutions the media represents as well.
Dr. Spence?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I heard the comments and I listened to them a couple of times and I wondered, Did Mr. Golding come across to you as someone who the party has been saying that they're doing well and they're on course to retake government? Did he come across confident to you in those comments?
Not at all, not at all. I mean, you one of the things you said in your coverage is that he was complaining. I mean, I don't know if you were deliberate with that choice of word, but when you are confident, you don't complain. You acknowledge where the difficulties are. And it wouldn't be the first time that we've heard a party leader say it's going to be difficult or say to their supporters it's not going to be easy. But this was not said in the same way and in the same tone. He really was complaining. And he was complaining from a very defeated place. He was coming from a place of feeling that he was wronged and that he's being set upon and being marginalized in a way, that the JLP is not being. And we have to be honest about it and say that he said some things that were also blatantly untrue. I mean, the PNP has dominated the news cycle. I remember when I was at a particular news station, the PNP dominated the news cycle, and you never heard the PNP complaining then that they thought the media was being bought out or anything like that. They were obviously flying high, and I remember there was almost a press conference every other day from the PNP camp, and it was always covered, and there was always one or two major news items coming from it. So he said some things that were wrong. I agree with Dashan. What he said about the press as well is dangerous to say. In a democracy like ours, which has always turned on this idea of a free and critical press, I think it is unfortunate that he said what he said in the space that he said it. And for him to complain about our democracy in a place like America now means that Mr. Golding isn't thinking. He's not at all thinking. How can you go to America to talk to Americans, even if they're Jamaican Americans in a time like this, and calling our government wicked and corrupt in America at this time in America? It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel as if he's not thinking and he has lost perspective.
Lloyd B. Smith, you're at the Western Mirror. You have been bought out by the JLP?
I have never been bought out by either the JLP or the PNP. Let me say that very clearly, which is one of the reasons why I quickly exited the political scene after a while, because I will not allow myself to be bought out by anyone. If you look at the history of politics in Jamaica, as far back as I can recall, this is par for the course. Both political parties, when it suits them, have launched various attacks against the media. I think in this case, though, Mr. Golding needs to apologize, and I'll tell you why. As was pointed out by Lenina a while ago, he ought not to have made such a statement in another country, especially a country such as the United States, where we know what's happening there now. Secondly, he was overly, I mean, you can't make such a sweeping statement. I mean, if he had said some persons or some media, one could perhaps understand, but for him to make this sweeping statement that the media has been bought out, it's most regrettable, and it covers all of us in the media, and I take umbrage for that. Secondly, though, I think it's almost it's ridiculous when he then goes on to say that the JLP is being supported by the top echelons of the society. It's the silly season that is upon us, and he has to be very careful that he doesn't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
I want to say something here before I had Headboy come on, and I have some on the phone who want to comment on it to Headboy. My thing is this. Why are they upset? Every time you turn on a certain radio station in our country, Jamaica, the temperature is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister. This time signal is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister. This news is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister. So you're telling me that what Mark Golding said on American soil is not true? Is it because he went in American soil and said that Jamaica has one of the most corrupt government in its history? They don't want the Americans to know? Is that the problem? Head boy, before we can come on in, we can get this call here in.
Yes. Good evening, good evening, head boy.
Good evening.
I don't understand these journalists who are talk. So when a person working in a radio station and get same position, and some get lead advisor in the Prime Service and those things. What is that? I want to know what is that. They need to explain those people in the South.
Yes.
That person in the police force, those persons working in the Prime Service, at the MP office, where we are. What is that?
Yes.
They will explain to Jamaican people. I'm a great friend who just start, my great friend journalist who just start. They must have a Jamaican people. What is those people? Motherfucker, several them, if you can check the name, it's several them with nationwide in work in the government.
Yes.
7.
Yes.
So they must explain to Jamaica. What is that?
So Sam, you can call back in the next couple of minutes. I have a next call coming in. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good night, caller. Welcome to the Jamaica Talk program. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Mr. Tavares, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Jamaica.
Okay.
Kingston, Jamaica.
Go ahead, sir.
Evening, Edward.
He's
so, the officer still, they're the first place nationwide that have no qualification to ask them questions. Because they are one of the main culprits of the media being bought out. So, Mr. Big Mama, he have no standing to ask the question. But if nobody will be bought out. These people are so delusional.
Yes. All right, man.
That's my 2 cents.
Thank you for calling in. And head boy, what I don't understand though, head boy, how is it that Lloyd B. Smith? I have a next call coming in. Good night, caller. Welcome to the program. Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. I'm calling from Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
I'm listening, and I want to know if those guys don't remember Warmington whenever up to the week before last he cursed out the newspaper and the radio station, and that radio station there that is speaking there, they are the ones who comes out with everything before it even leave Parliament. Then aren't they bought out? We need to check ourselves for real.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Jeffrey.
Thank you. And what I don't understand to the head boy, a former Speaker of the People's National Party regime, Lloyd B. Smith, is calling the opposition leader to apologize for what?
1 second, Jeffrey, let me put this in perspective. Mark Golin, I need to see you, my comrade leader. I'll shake your hand 150 million times. If you want to offend any Jamaican administration, offend them on foreign soil.
Hold on for me, head boy. We have a next call coming in. I'm sorry. Hold on.
You want me to finish the point and then you take the other call?
Yes. Hold on for me, caller. Go ahead. Finish the point for me, head boy.
Because one of the issue that we must be clear about, Jeffrey, in this issue, is Mark Golin said nothing that was untrue. And let's be real, right? There are elements in the media that their only concern is to get awards and awards and awards. Yeah? And one of the things that Andrew Holness did when he won in 2016 was the first person award and award was Cliff Hughes.
Was who?
Was Cliff Hughes.
Okay.
Are you forgetting? And he gave Naomi Campbell the same.
Yes. Caller?
Caller, go ahead.
Caller, welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, welcome. Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey, head boy, and viewers. Marky G now apologize
Now apologize to you. Marlon, you know your favor bullfrog when car run over it. Him now apologize. Marky G don't apologize for nothing. Andrew only said the people have money there. Andrew only said the LBGTR whatever Q community money there. Andrew will not apologizing for nothing. Enough of you, enough of all your people. We will not be marginalized, Andrew Honest. Marlon, go on a gym. Marlon, Morgan, go to the gym. We tired, we fed up and tired of this now, man. Huh? PMP don't need to start opening up in the mouth, man. Members and talk, man. And all the while you can be nice and dainty. You want to make flyer pitch pound. You don't understand what I mean? We're not apologizing. Marky G, don't apologize for nothing.
All right.
And only for the $3 trillion there. What them there? What more money there? What the car report there? Eh? You shouldn't even depend on the list for nothing. We're not apologizing for nothing.
All right, darling.
Clint Hughes, want me to you everything in your mouth.
All right, darling. Have a next
But
call.
clean up your act, man. We're not apologize.
All right, darling. Thanks much.
The caller
Whoa.
is passionate.
I lost the call. I was trying to get the call. You can call back 954-529.
But Jeffrey, there's also another point that I want to make. Because let me tell you,
Yes.
let's be real. Let's be real. Just 1 second, Jeffrey. Let's hold on the call a bit. Just a minute. Just hold on the call a little bit.
Hold on for me, head boy. I know you hold on, but this call been calling from ever since. I will never get through this call. Hold on.
Take this call and then let's hold the calls.
Yes. Hello. Good night. Welcome to the program. You're live.
Good night, comrade. Mr. Jeffrey.
Background, please. Yes, caller. Welcome to the program. Go ahead. You're live.
Mark Golden not apologizing to nobody. Like this, Smith get buyout too. That's why I'm attack so. Cliff Hughes, him a one of them where Katrina want pay tax. Him a one of the propaganda paid Labour Party. Nadine Spence figure to favor Bullfrog.
Oh Lord.
Tell him to come up a PNP.
Oh Lord. Hold on, Miss P. Remember that, all of us are Jamaicans, It doesn't matter, I don't think you should call in names though,
Them just check from the man, so what the man do them, what the man say well wrong. Everything what the man say, true the man attacking, not tell no lie. If you leave after the man, then cut the man, send to go back from banana board. When Warrington a go on with him, go on and a cut the media, they not tell Warrington to apologize, because they can't tell him to apologize, and apologize to nobody. Well, Marky G apologize to nobody. Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks much.
Yeah.
Head boy, make your point.
Right. So, Jeffrey, I want people to understand this. And Mark Golden is absolutely right in relation to the top echelon of society. Let us be real. Let us be real.
Head boy. Good night. Welcome to the Talk program. You're live. Where are you calling from?
Evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Portmore.
Yes, sir. You have about 2 minutes. Go ahead. Next call's coming in. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Ed boy.
Good evening, my brother.
My 2 cents, is that I don't sit around with the leader of the opposition saying the man speak the truth and the truth only earth. And my sense, all the while my 2 cents, I always think the leader is very, very biased. And what the man said, them not do nothing wrong, he just talk the truth and who want to offend it, no matter what he want to talk or what he want. Because him talk it here, say they make a difference, them talk it a friend and they make a difference. What Jamaica need to come and really talk about is the Prime Minister who have 28 bank accounts and not being certified by the Integrity Commission.
Yes.
And why members of the government do not sign the Integrity Commission Code of Conduct.
Yes.
These are the things we need to talk about.
All right, caller. Thanks for calling in. Have a next call coming in. Good night. Welcome to our program. You're live. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Portmore, Sir Jeffrey.
Hey, how are you doing, Portmore? Everything over there tonight?
Everything kind of active, PS bright and things.
Yeah, man.
But we just talk about the media mandarin.
Yes.
And the sellout. Of course, that's an Hendrick for one. You should have been coming out and talking none of this nonsense stimmer talk, especially, Sir Jeffrey. That's why is from a strong old PNP family, He has been bred and supported over the years by Dr. Paul Roberts, You understand? And it's really surprising as a resident and a neighbor. That's an engine come out and start them things. And we don't know him as that type of person.
Yes.
Coming up. But you see, the tradition is the whole of them are coming from St. Catherine, So them use that as a school alma mater to walk with the Prime Minister. And as the head boy said, a whole heap of advertisement coming out from the office of the Prime Minister and NFL, right?
Yes.
So clearly there's a media mandarin going on, and it cannot hide because if all of the bloggers and the social media group should be account on the issues and the relation that is going on. It will be clear to see that if you guys are doing the work rather than the
right. Call
idea, the media.
Yes. Thanks for calling, man. I have a call coming. Let me take a lot of calls coming in. Thank you for calling in. Good night. Welcome to our program, Chris. Go ahead. You're live.
Hey, Jeffrey. How you doing? Head boy?
Good, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. Jeffrey, I watched that interview several times, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell the whole uproar is about. The man said what he said was absolutely right.
But you don't understand, Christopher, is that the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Lloyd B. Smith, is a member of the People's National Party,
No, he's not still.
He's not. Oh?
No, Lloyd is a flip-flopper in chief, and I don't even want to open my mouth. Lloyd B is a flip-flopper in chief. And he has no morality to speak on certain things.
But head boy, let's look objectively at what Mark said. I read the newspapers them every day, all of them. From the Star, the Gleaner to I don't really mess with the Observer that much because it's a rag as far as I'm concerned. But when I read the newspaper, Jeffrey, the Gleaner, for example, I don't see where them sit down and have an in-depth interview with the Prime Minister about anything of substance. And I hardly see anything in the Gleaner about the PMP.
Let me say something to you, Christopher. The Gleaner.
Are we crazy?
Let me say something to you. The Gleaner and the Gleaner staff members, all right? I know for a fact they have done stories on what is going on in Jamaica now and all about the Prime Minister. And when they go to the editing chief about it, they were told to stand down.
Jeffrey, I absolutely believe that.
They were told to stand down.
I read the Gleaner religiously for years. And I've seen where gradually nobody challenged the Prime Minister in the Gleaner. No of substance. No, I dare anybody to go and pick out a hard-hitting. That young girl that had interviewed Andrew Holness and asked him about him taxes and him swore. That was the last meaningful interview.
You mean Zara Burton?
Of the Prime Minister. Yes, I saw in the Jamaican media. Period. The last interview of any substance, and I challenge anybody to come on this platform and show me a hard-hitting expose from the Gleaner or the Observer or whatever on the Prime Minister. Just the basic things like where your money come from. Sit down and just go into depth. I have not seen it. So I don't know why them getting them panty all in a bunch about what Mark Golden said, which is absolutely true.
I think
they look like they're paid off.
I think they didn't expect Mark to go on public on international soil and said what he said. And there's nothing wrong in doing that. Nothing is wrong in doing that.
The truth is an offense. The truth is an offense. It's not a sin. The truth is the truth. You have to speak the truth, cast it what it will. The truth is like granite.
Yes.
It will stand the test of time. You don't have to alter it and make up a story. Just talk the truth. The man talk the truth, and it's the truth.
Yes, Chris.
So if it hurt and offend some people, that's fine.
Yes, thank you for calling in, Chris. Our next call coming. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
Thanks much.
All right, though.
Good night, Miss P. Welcome to the program. Your life.
Yeah, good night. Good night. I want to make one thing straight.
Mm-hmm.
Good night again. I'm asking the people to come off of Mark Golding, please. Patricia Golding gone and never left Mark Golding give them. Minister in the cabinet come out and call them by name and disrespect them. I mean, I hear nobody are telling him to apologize to them.
You know,
everything Mark Golding do, then don't find the man back. Leave the man alone. Mark Golding is a clean character. After you, Mr. Light B. Smith, you get buyout by 2 years in a media. The man said media, the man is not telling no lie. Everything Mark Golding do, them are publishing whatever I say. Them are publish nothing for him more. Every little thing then come both sue and retract and apologize. Apologize to who? John Golding dead long time. Patricia Golding just dead, no nobody no obligation because he must speak the truth. And the truth is offense, but not a sin. We don't go on a man private life and talk about the man bringing wife at the age of 14. And if you know it's born men and not me, we don't bring some sitting. We don't go peek and go dig up in business, say, he might do all this, he bump a banana boat. And the things where the media, God bless Morty Perkin and Miss Barbara Gludan, may their soul rest in peace. No media personnel now ask Andrew Wallace the right question. Oh dear, if you have a prime minister with too much nastiness, mix up, corro, and he have to run back, and none of them not see that. Only not see the ordinary Jamaican people we are working in the private sector. Without the ordinary people, the country can't move forward. We not look at the hospital where people are dead every day and can't get nothing. We not look at the school them. When dilapidated, if you ask the hard question, we don't see road, we don't see nothing. We don't see 15,000 like you have the people. I want to them people, yeah, man. Cliff Hughes, me tell you, in the pan borrow time, right? You go so much taxes, plus you get right off. And you come now and condemn people. When you don't condemn Mark Golding, you don't condemn the majority of Jamaica and Jamaicans. Because that's the only person our we see rise up, we can give we little hope. We don't come after a man. We apologize to who? I am thief bought money.
You know,
I am thief bought money.
You know something, Miss P? I never heard Lloyd B. Smith nor Nadine Spence. And let me make something clear on this platform. The views expressed on this platform is not the views of the Make We Talk program, the owners, operators, or the host of the program, or the host of the program, myself and Headboy. What I don't understand, Miss P, is this. I heard Juliet Cuthbert Flynn. I heard Mrs. Warmington accuse Mark Golding of being a white man and come from wherever, not accuse. So Mark Golding is whatever, if he come from banana boat and him a slave and all kind of something. And I never heard Lloyd B. Smith come out and say that they must apologize. It's
simple.
This is the hypocrisy of this country. I never heard that come out and say they must apologize to the man. Head boy?
Leave the man alone. Leave the man alone, man. The man go to America anywhere and go to and talk. It's the truth. Not one is thinking truth. So help me God. I shoot him on attack. Because what the media is supposed to be doing, the media is now, the media becomes blogger to the Jamaica Labour Party. The whole of UNU bungling up. Because guess what? More time I don't blame the reporter them. Because we understand that they are under Jagada. And we can't feed them. So them have to touch and draw back and touch and draw back. We understand that. So call us a spade. There is no media house where asks the Prime Minister, which is the chief servant of the country, when he's elected, collecting taxpayer money, using it. The man go foreign, I went in there foreign. Yeah, saying they are foreign. The man can't, be a man come here, nobody no ask him about what they, yo, them people have to go in over there. Them people are sick, drunk, and smoking man. Cause me can't use university language, you know. Uno sick stomach, you know. Uno no know say young people are listening to uno and I take it in and I mark uno and know say uno no mean this country now the Jamaican people them no good. And for a person who lived through the 1980s, it no one care back come here. But God and time, uno is a wicked set of people and you light beast see me. You need to apologize to Mark Bolin and the Jamaican people. You're going to tell a big man about him to apologize. Apologize to who? Why? I tell you not tell a lie for nobody. You hear Mark Bolin going to tell a lie? Eh? You know, you're going to tell a lie like the Prime Minister who know prayers as God. We have a sellout Jamaica and Jamaican in collect 1.5 million US official out to pity them body. I not talk about that.
Miss P.
Them messing on the talk about. The company world you.
No, hold on, Miss P, hold on. We have to be careful with you certain things on YouTube. They will strike this channel. Yeah. I don't want to do it. Thank you for calling in.
Sometimes me listen to program them and we then go on, then no balance the thing. Then that's dung for the man, so. Yes, and accuse you of the man never open nobody at Jamaica. We stop it, man, it don't look good. It doesn't look good.
Alright, Miss P, thanks for calling in. Yes.
Alright, Jeffrey, you could hold the calls a minute for me. Let's hold the calls.
Yes, we know hold the calls. Go ahead.
Let's hold the calls because it's getting the time is almost approaching close that I have to go. I want to say something that I have never said on any media, on any platform. I'll tell you why there are certain elements in Jamaica why they're upset with Mark Golin. I'll tell you why. You see, Mark Golin is a threat to the established order that has been established in Jamaica over the last 9 years. One, them can't take up them phone and call him, especially the Vumvavi and the Vumvava. They can't take up the phone and tell him, come to my office now, come and see me. Yeah? Like how farmer man before him did dead, Butch Stewart, could pick up him phone and tell Andrew, come check me down a sandals. And Andrew, if Andrew is dealing with the country's business, he put it down and in Ghana sandals. Yeah? Same so with the Issas, they could call any one of them. Yeah? It is the first that the country is getting a prime minister where the wealthy class, the moneyed class, the capital class cannot control, cannot dictate to him. Because guess what happened? He work hard for money and he come from him almost from the same class. Yeah? So there is equals. They are threatened that they will have a prime minister that them can't control. That's one. Two, the media, if you remember that Andrew Holness is Andrew Holness who started this thing with the media. Because the callers have been so good in pointing out. And that's why I allow the callers and I let them talk. Because I say I love when the call. You know why I always say I love when the callers call, because you hear what is on people's mind.
Right.
And the truth be told, a caller pointed it out. How could one media house have 7 appointments in government? Them take one. I'm not afraid to call him name. Them take one and make him district constable and made him head of communications for the police force. The man is now a superintendent. You hear me say not an inspector, you know? A superintendent. Now imagine you jump from district. You know how bad the ordinary police officers feel in the Jamaica Constabulary Force? Jeffrey, the man, when you get promotion, is normally move from even if they had given him corporal and then they promote him to sergeant and then they move him up onward and onward. The man jump up to 5-6 ranks in the police force. Yeah? So when people are coming with the narrative But let me tell you why the media is against Mark Golding and the PNP. Because there are a lot of them who won't get the sweet treats that they used to get. They won't be treated like how, because every year when there's honors, look and see how much people from the media will get award. And what is their political persuasion? Who do they speak for? Who do they look out for? Huh? But Golding, the next tour go to England go say the same thing. And when you go Canada, say the same thing. Yeah? Because it is obvious that it offends them. And let me tell you why it offends them. Because they now know the spotlight is turned on to them. Jeffrey, if you want to embarrass, remember, if you want to embarrass your mother, embarrass her when visitors come in your yard. Yeah?
True.
So the biggest embarrassment for them is that Mark Golding has pointed out, and I want to deal with Nadine Spence, who is the least of the apostles, who's greener than green bug. Yeah? Nadine Spence has no moral authority to speak on anything relating to politics in Jamaica, particularly the People's National Party. Come Nadine Spence for years, while she was on New Start 93 FM, peddled with Shani Webster a political agenda of Andrew Holness. She peddled it. When you listen to News Talk in the morning, she used to peddle it. Yeah? So we need to be straight and be upfront. You cannot say you are in the media. And let me tell you something. One of the other things, and I listened to Lloyd B. Lloyd B has selective morality. Where was Lloyd B when Warmington made the statements he made?
There you go.
When sitting member of parliament Juliet Cuthbert Flynn was telling, man, since you want to be the head cook and battle washer, where you know, wara, come run ya. Yeah?
True.
Where was Lloyd B when all of the situations, the SSL matters, as the callers have been pointing out? So, Jeffrey, we have a media in Jamaica that is selective. Go ahead.
Good night, caller. Welcome to the Make It Talk program. You're live.
Good night. I am not very clear as to what's going on, but I did see a little bit of Mark Golding and what he said.
Yes.
My takeaway from that, I think everybody, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it speaks mostly to the fact that Jamaica is now a dictatorship, and it is almost everything and everywhere is being held down by the government, and there's lack of freedom of speech, and that is greatly illustrated when the police go and pull young men from underneath their bed and force them to apologize to the president, to the prime minister. When the prime minister takes it upon himself and get police officers to go and arrest a pastor. Those are sharpening, highlighting of the fact that there is no freedom of speech in Jamaica, and that by whatever means necessary, this prime minister has taken it upon himself to lock down freedom of speech. It's, to me, that's where I would put my emphasis on, not on this little minion, this little PR that is coming out and speaking on behalf of the JLP party. I think we should focus on the major. He's just a minor little mosquito in a corner.
Who you talking to?
Whoever it is that is suggesting that Mark Golding is supposed to apologize.
But the person who's suggesting this, is a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, a former PNP member of Parliament.
But that's my point. My point carries. I don't care it is. If it's the person, it's PNP, JLP, independent, it doesn't matter. What Mark Golding is saying, I believe that people are missing the message he's trying to send.
Indeed.
There is no freedom of speech in Jamaica. Jamaica is operating like a dictatorship.
And not only that, caller, I think Mr. Golding is trying to tell the international community that Jamaica is so corrupt
that
if something is not being done and this party should go back in. May God help this country.
Now we're talking. You see what I'm saying?
And not only that,
Go ahead.
not only that, caller, he is telling the Jamaican diaspora to wake
There
up.
you go. Right. And help me. Help me. He's saying help me.
Yes.
And I'm suggesting to you, Jeffrey, and everybody else on Head Boy, I am suggesting that what can I do? What can I do to help to become a news media for Mark Golden? This is bigger, as you can see. You have just said to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, is somebody from the PMP side criticizing Golden, is that correct?
Yes.
A former member.
All right, then. So this is
member.
Bigger than a PMP thing. It's bigger than a PMP thing. Like I've been telling people, this is a Jamaican thing. We have to fight for the survival of Jamaica. What can I do as a Jamaican to help to push forward the message that Mark Golden needs to be sent? I don't see Mark Golden as a PMP. I see him as a Jamaican who is the best person for the job, if you understand where I'm coming from. What can I do to help him? Also, Jeffrey, I'd like to suggest, and correct me again wherever I'm wrong. Is it enumeration time or something like that? Am I correct there?
Yes,
Head boy.
the final deadline. And please, thank you very much.
I would like to suggest, Jeffrey, that whatever it is that you call it, I don't want to take up much time because I know other people calling. Whatever the method is or whatever you call it, where people must get registered to vote, I am asking you, I am beseeching you and all the other programs, if we could do like a half an hour or so and encourage people to call in and tell you, yes, they went and they registered. Whatever we can do to help Mark Golden, I think that's where we should put our attention. He has sent out a call that he needs help. I am volunteering. When I hang up, tell me what I need to do to help. How can I get the word to somebody else? What can we do to get people to go out there and register? That's all we got to do. We don't have to. These little people and these little mosquitoes that come around you and buzz around in your ear, they're just distraction. There are potholes in the road, Jeffrey. All we have to do is drive around them and get to our destination. That's what I'm suggesting.
True.
Lovely.
True. Thank you, caller, for calling in.
So can I ask, Jeffrey?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I get you to commit to get people to call and what is it, numerator, whatever it is? I've never voted in Jamaica, so I'm not familiar with the process.
I'm
going to respond to you now.
So, all right, I'm going to hang up. Take care. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes.
All right.
Head boy, before you respond, let me do some housekeeping here. I want to say thanks to one of my producers in the chat room, Walking in Divine Purpose, who is there working hard as usual. For those who are just joining us, we must apologize. We haven't seen Mr. KD Knight. I think I don't know what happened, but he was supposed to be on, but we haven't seen him. But the program is still going on. I want to say thanks to all those who are joining us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Share up this live feed as much as you can. And we're going to open the phone lines for you to call in and tell us if you have been enumerated, and also your views on should Mark Golden apologize for what he said in America about a corrupt system and he needs help. Should he apologize for that? Head boy, go ahead.
Right. So in response to what the caller said, the March 31st is the final.
Hold on there. Good night, caller. Welcome to the program.
March 31st.
Good night, Mr. Jeffrey.
Hold on
Good
from the
night,
caller. Hold on from the caller.
Good night to you.
Hold on from the caller. Let the head boy make the final. Make his point. Go ahead, head boy.
So March 31st is the final deadline if you want to be added to the May 31st list. After this list, after this numeration, there will be no more chance to be added to the list until November the 31st. Yes? September 30th, I should say. The election will be running on a May list. So if you know your neighbors, please push, encourage them. Every young person you know in your community, every family member, every close friend that is not enumerated yet, and you know they will support the People's National Party, or they will support, they will vote. Get them to be enumerated before March 31st is out. This is the list that the election is going to be run on the May list. Yeah. So please get them to be enumerated. Encourage them.
to be added to the list. That's the point I'd make.
Yes, caller, go ahead. Oh Lord, the caller hung up. I'm getting a message here that. Hold on there. I'm getting a message here. Senator Knight is trying to come on. Good night, caller. Welcome to the program. You're live. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Philadelphia, Jeffrey.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm okay, listening to your program. What I want to say,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see anything for Mark Golden to apologize for. Why did it, when Warrington said the same thing about the Gleaner and others, why they didn't ask for apology?
Very good question.
Nobody say anything to Warrington about it.
And
so now they want apology from Mark Golden. He should not. He should not.
And when Warmington make some utterance about Mr. Golden, nobody said it. Nobody said it.
Nobody said anything. No, they didn't demand no apology. Right? So how comes now? Who do you think they are? Those people in the government seem as if they are mystic. Who do you think they are? I am sorry I'm not in Jamaica, but I would have to join the battalion. Those people want to be disciplined. They're full of too much lies. That's what they're running on. That's the ticket that they're running on, lies. But I want Mark Golden to get some strong people to back them up and to tell them in them face that you are lying.
Yes.
You know why they are so bold? The half of the Jamaican people do not know what they are doing.
Yes.
Because they rightly muzzle the media. So there are certain things that should come out, not coming out. Listen to the media. If something come out on the media that they didn't like, the news report it at first. And then the next step, you listen to see them come back on it, you hear it no more. What is that? What is that? What are they hiding? So when them come talking about Mark Golden to apologize, for what? For what? Look at the amount of things that they do to us that nobody apologize. Nobody call for resignation. Nobody apologize. To hell with them, Mark do not have to apologize to nobody.
I think what happened, is that within the realms of politics, back in the days, you don't spread your dirty laundry in the public.
Right.
But hold on there for me. Nowadays, with the social media frenzy and all those things going on around the world, if you sneeze in Jamaica, CNN pick it up long time.
Of course.
So for them to be saying that Mr. Golden should have never gone American soil and said what he said is damn nonsense. Mr. Golden should have said what Mr. Golden should do, is travel the length and breadth of the world.
Yes.
Where the Jamaicans are.
Yes, I agree with that. Because it needs to be said. It needs to be said, and nobody's saying it. Yeah, what the Prime Minister believe? Is he untouchable?
Well, I wouldn't say as a Prime Minister's calling to apologize. And some people.
No, it's a plan.
I don't think. Hold on there for me. I don't think Lloyd B. Smith get instruction from the Prime Minister to almost apologize. No. I think Lloyd B. Smith and the lady there, they're speaking off of their own terms. And they're saying that he should apologize. What I am saying is this. That when Everett Warmington and Juliet Cuthbert Flynn went on national radio and TV and belittled Mr. Golden, a Jamaican by birth, nobody calling her to apologize.
Anybody did anybody apologize to him?
Nobody did. Because
up until now.
Because
so
because of the hypocrisy of the political system in this country, ma'am.
So you see, they give Mark Golden to say what he has to say because there is nothing happening in the country where you have anybody to stand up and say, no, this is wrong, this is right. Nobody, it's like everybody's silent.
I think Jamaicans want to silent and what they want to be silent about. I don't think the majority of Jamaicans really are taking the political climate of what is going on in Jamaica. You know, I don't think they're taking it serious. I think they're
because they do not know enough to be silent, to take anything serious. They're not hearing. I can tell you, Mr. Jeffrey, I spent 6 weeks out there in January, and I can tell you, most of the people, they are ignorant. They don't know what is happening.
They don't want to know.
They don't know.
You see? And I tell you one thing, you know, I said it on this platform, I want to say it tonight. If we, the Jamaican people, do not get up and make sure your name is on that voters list and go out when the time comes for you to vote, if you do not go out and vote,
we don't have a country.
Do not come back on this platform and say anything. And if you don't vote, we don't have a country, because the soul of Jamaica's democracy relies on you, the Jamaican people. This is one of the most consequential elections in Jamaica's history, you know. Go ahead, Carl.
Yes, Mr. Jeffrey, we are on the brink of something, and we need to stand up for what we believe in, or else. But as Marcus Garvey said, we will never know, some of us will never know ourselves until we're back against the wall. Too late. Too late.
Too late,
Too late.
Right.
Too late. Too late. Because it's a lot of things going on in Jamaica. A lot of things. I don't want to hear that Mark apologize to nobody. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Mr. Golden is his own man. Everybody have their own thing to apologize, to talk about.
I don't want to hear it.
Caller, I have a next call coming in. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye. Good night. Welcome to Make We Talk. You're live. Where are you calling from? Hello, good night. You're live.
Hello.
Where are you calling from?
Yes, good night, Sir Jeffrey. Calling from New York, Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
Right, I'm a regular listener to the program. I also subscriber.
Thank you.
I always talking to Sir Jeffrey. You see, I get fed up of Jamaican and everything, you know. And I think the people them down there got backward. Right? Sir Jeffrey, not to say this. I'm telling you, when I see other day, when I see a JLP activist is a chairperson of a school and stop a school from keeping, I don't see nobody do nothing about it.
And you know something, sir? You know something, sir? I was the first person who made that public, you know. That individual is the chairman of a school board, and nobody don't think about it. Nothing was done about it.
Nothing, Sir Jeffrey. And I see parents go to school and demonstrate to get rid of principal. And you want to tell me, say, you have an activist I run a school and stop your child from learning, and nobody go out there?
Not a soul, master.
You know, upset when I call for other programs, Sir Jeffrey.
Yes.
In the 90s, I see when PJ Patterson was putting on cent span and doing the gas tax. And also PMP area blocked the road.
Yes, I remember.
Kingston blocked the road.
As a matter of fact,
nobody come out on this government here was doing a lot of things.
You're correct, you know, caller. And I have some more calls coming. Caller, you're correct, you know. I remember in the 1990s, I've never seen something so organized where the 14 parishes start burn one time. You remember the gas right in the 1990s?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
Right.
I was so upset when I see East Kingston Black Road to against PJ Patterson, and no one ever come out and do things against this government. We are do things. This man had an activist in our school, and you want to be no parents, no news media that put it up like that and talk about it. I research to find out the only time I'm coming to Jamaica this year, Sir Jeffrey, is when voting time.
All right, caller.
Me want to come back home. I love my country and everything, but I'm telling you, Sir Jeffrey, I leave Jamaica in 2016. I run away. And I left my good job and said, any of the JLP party win, Sir Jeffrey, I'm not staying at Jamaica. And I come to America till I get straight.
Yes.
I run away. I left my good job. I was a psychiatric nursing aide, assisted mentally, and I run away. I tell all of my coworkers, any of the JLP win 2016 and not staying at Jamaica. And I don't regret it.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Thank you. The number to call is 954-529-8030. You can call via WhatsApp too, 954-529-8030. What is the views on what is going on in Jamaica? Should Mark Golding apologize for what he said in New Jersey about the political system in our country and the corruption that's going on in our country? Should he apologize because he said it in American soil? Now let's play back the video of what Mark Golding said. And you're going to call and tell me, should he apologize? Listen to this.
We have a very difficult task ahead of us. Yeah. But if Jamaica doesn't get a change of government now, I don't know what kind of state.
Good night, caller. Welcome to the program. You're live.
Good night. Hi, Mr. Jeffrey. Hi, Head Boy. Hi, viewers. So I think Mr. Mark Golding should not apologize. He did not do anything wrong. And I just want to make my voice hear. The young lady that called before, you can give her my number. I will definitely work with her. Yes. Jamaicans, it's time to go to the streets. We can protest peacefully, respectfully. We need to open our mouth and let our voices be heard. The Prime Minister, the government, we are the CEO for Jamaica. We are the head. They work for us, right? We have to take it to the streets and don't be cowards. We have to fight. We have to fight to get back our beaches. Yes. We have to fight to get back our country. We cannot deal with this anymore. Crime, they're not managing crime.
Yes.
And Mr. Golding, if you're listening or if your PA is listening or anyone tied to you, please turn up the heat. Don't apologize. Anything you should do is come out with a press conference tomorrow or something else of that sort. And to the Prime Minister of Jamaica, you need to apologize to the people. You bring down the country. We have been marginalized. We have been terrorized, tormented. You have been doing so much evil. We need to know where the $3 trillion. We're not talking about no missing money. We need answers. You go on plane, you come back. We don't know when you're in the country. We don't. You're busy talking about Portmore. What about the hospital? People are dying. The hospitals need us. The farmers. I saw the news where so much tomatoes growing. The farmers, they are tired and frustrated. But what I see from my end, you want investors to come into the country. And I for sure won't be using and for taking intimidation by you or this defamation of character, because I know the meaning and I know my right. We need to hear from you. The news media, you need to come on, dress up yourself now, man. We are tired and frustrated. As a teacher, the classroom, it is crazy. Students coming to school without lunch money. Teachers got to be finding the tools that you should be providing for us. The tablets, what about the tablets that someone have in the offices? Huh? When I have in the office, I now get to pick them because of whatever. Listen to me, man. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And when people talk, when they say that we are mischief makers, we are doing the wrong thing, and we have to be traveling from school to school, leading jobs from jobs to jobs, because we won't close our mouth. Jamaicans, whether you want to support the JLP or whatever P, think about Jamaica first. Before you vote, think about who you're voting for. You shouldn't even think about JLP right now, because we're seeing so many wrongdoings with them. We have people classing people. We have people on the platform giving threat sign. We know what the cutthroat sign means, Miss Tavares. We know about it. You understand me? We need answers. People can go through red light, and if me for do it, you got here say, ticket please, I'm gonna have to go to court. You understand me? We are sick and tired of this. Miss Lou, when we are at school, we hear about patois people talking, you chat bad. I'm good with my English language, but me chat my patois, me love me Creole. Our Bob Marley, he left a legacy. Michael Marley did so much. Education, people are fighting to be educated. And for those who don't want to be educated, You feel the handout is enough. That's why someone who don't like Mr. Damian Crawford, because he's a man of integrity, a man with a mission, because education is the key to success. I am begging, I am pleading, Jamaicans, please get enumerated. You have until March the 31st to be on that list. Check your IDs to see if they are valid. If not, you need to go, if it's Duke Street, whatever street, whichever parish you're from, go and get on the list. If you don't vote, you don't have a voice. We can do our part, but it's going to take work. Thank you very much, Mr. Jeffrey. Keep up the good work. And Ed Boy, God bless you. Those in the chat, come on now, we have work to do. If it's 5 of us, we need to go to the streets. I mean, fire on them. Blessings and God bless you all. Oh, and the churches. Me not forget about Uni, you know, because someone are lick pot. But me tell you something. Mr. Jeffrey, you said it once, you know, just get a pencil and a red cloth and start gibberish, and people run up because everybody wants a prophecy. But Master God a God here, and he must see all around the world play a packy and a potter. So which humble churches, only need for weed out, you know, when you come like some bad weed grass. Juliet Cuthbert running on your thing right now, so you can't go over your little warehouse so you have enough of you right now. Wilmington, you need to the apology. You don't apologize if you just go to prison. All I know, me the business one be, one do, on a bad man friend, on a lick down people this and threaten people. Enough now, man. Jamaica will never be banana republic. Jamaica will never be like Haiti. You understand me? We want to walk on our beach. Look at the people them get fat. Look on Cliff Hughes. You can't say me a definition of character because you're fat. It's evident. Marlon Margaret, you are joining too. Jim Dede. But because the beach, you can't get to walk up and down on the beach, so you sit down and yam in a big turkey while some people can't eat chicken back. Some people can't, Mr. Jeffrey, some people can't drink the tin milk. People are telling a young lady, tell me to she cook ackee and a salt, she dip in the pot. Because you can't buy saltfish. Eh? One national dish and a ackee and saltfish again a ackee.
Dear God.
And this is getting bad. So we never talk. So when we come back, we say the streets, IQ zero. The nanny, Paul Bogle, when you come on now from Mr. Golin, go up on the campaign. Start talk. Put on the Damian Crawford. Please come on. Mr. Eistat, the one on the top. Push it down upon them. Push it down upon them. The DPP or whatever piece you want be, because our minister right now is just some statues. Some, as the Lord Jesus Christ would say, let me remember that I'm a Christian, that the sepulchre, and if you don't know what a sepulchre is, I will say to consult the Bible for the definition of sepulchre, because that is what you people are in the JP party. And as soon as some people are fighting to win the seat, because they want to cover up on the nastiness. But guess what? God has soon, you know?
Yes, darling.
God has soon. Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey.
Thank you for calling.
Blessings.
Okay, bye. Good night, caller. Welcome to the program. You're live.
Good night, Jeffrey.
Good night. Where are you calling from?
I'm in New York right now.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I must highlight my appreciation to what Mark Golin said. Mark Golin is a brave, untainted leader right now. And if he can come on the international stage and reflect the reality of Jamaica, people must believe him. You know? The media houses in Jamaica, they are really proven to be entrenched enemies of the people. And, you know, they should be the third rail to put government in the proper perspective. And I say they're playing bias role right now.
Yes.
And they're not helping the people. Not helping the people.
All right, my friend.
You know? Yeah, so
thank you.
I appreciate what Mark Golin expressed. And for a leader, he's brave enough and he has done the right thing. I think it's full time. He hit the streets of Jamaica and lock down the parliament now. Not even go back and sit down with them. Just hit the road now. Election time. You understand me? Big up yourself, Jeffrey. You're doing a tremendous job.
Your voice sound as somebody say sound like you saying bold, but I know you're not bold.
Call Jeffrey. Call Jeffrey. I need to see you again in New York, you know, Jeffrey. I need to see you in New York again. You know.
Yeah, man.
You understand me? Be up yourself.
All right.
I need to talk to you too.
Yeah, man. Cool,
All right?
cool.
All right.
Good night. You're live on air. Do you want to talk on air?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'll call you back.
Check. Okay, will do.
All right. Good night. Welcome to Make We Talk program. You're live.
Good night, Mr. Jeffrey.
Good night, sir.
Night, Mr. Head Boy.
Yes, he's there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeffrey. I mean, we can't say enough thanks to you for always being on the front line, at the forehead of this Jamaican attack. But not to keep up your program. And the question you're asking, should Mark Golden apologize? Yes, he should apologize for not coming out earlier to say it. Because I was wondering why was he there and just sucking up all this and not speaking about it, because he talking make a difference. I can guarantee you that. And you can see the ripple effect he have when he say it, because it's true. So why did he wait so long? That's the problem I have. That's why you should apologize to people for. Why did he wait so long to say it? It's obvious. And there's one question I would like to ask, like every single person, both JLP and PNP. I mean, I know the JLP, no disrespect, but the truth is the truth. They have a problem with checking, but they can get the calculator on their phone. If a person is making, I'm going to put it $9 million for 27 years, at the end of 27 years, how much money should that person end up with?
Is they making how much?
$9 million
per year
for 27 years. He should not end up with less. You will roughly round it off to $250 million. $250 million.
$250 million, not million, billion.
$250 million, which is 243. Right? So that said it all. And your wife end up with $1 billion in one investment. No, and Jamaican people is suffering. The person who the money belongs to is suffering. If, as a leader, if you have $1 billion and you're running a country, you should take that $1 billion and help the people in the country. Let's put it like that. That's representative.
Yes.
So, look at it. It is simple. You don't have to go too deep or too far. And everybody, they suck it up. That's not a problem. But a person says something that is true is a problem. What is Jamaica become? What is Jamaican become now?
Jamaica is becoming a banana republic and a dictatorial state, sir.
No, man. Banana republic is something good, man. Because, look, if a person can do that, and it's okay, and a person speak the truth, and it's not okay. No, Jamaica is not a real place. It's not. It's real bad. Real bad. It seems like all of us, these people let Jamaica people look like they are naive and dunce and stupid. Because a sensible person will look and say, look on it, a simple situation as this. And you are there supporting a person like this. And a person came forward to speak the truth. Yes, the whole Jamaica is corrupt. Not just the media. The whole Jamaica.
Yes.
And somebody simple say, let's get, what the man is saying is that this thing is getting from bad to worse. No, I have kept silent long enough. No. And it's not changing. It seems to be getting worse. So I need to say something so if I can make a change.
Indeed.
And that is wrong. And that is wrong. And a person go take the IC to court for the IC asking for a little bit of information. Just a little information so that they can go and they can finish their journey. And you take them to court just to, I mean, information, what? Why would you have problem giving somebody a little information just to clear up this accusation then? As a leader, you're not a citizen. You're not a minister. You're the president of the country. And you fail to give a little information, and then that's okay. But a person says the system is corrupt because you fail to give information. only in a corrupt system a president who failed to give us simple information. Go get the information and give it. Simple. Nobody's saying you did anything wrong, but we can't tell without the information. And you're in the position that you can retrieve the information. Why not retrieve it? What is so hard in that? You are corrupt.
The nation is in crisis, and if we don't do something about it.
If the president is corrupt, the system that is led by the president have to be corrupt. There is no way. And Andrew Holness, the fact is that, brother, you are the biggest failure ever. Because I respect you your first time you were running. I had respect for you. But now, it is regret beyond the ordinary. Like, this man looks so dumb and stupid. Because it is not time for you to hold back words now. This man looks so dumb and stupid and go with this promotion and talking this bag of shit and garbage. When you are doing how can you look at your country and talk about you meet your maker or the judge? That's what you apologize. Things like that you should even take thought of it. Maker or judge? Is that how you reform person? Is that how you tell your kids you love them? Is that how you tell your brother you love them? Is that how you tell your family you love them? Oh, I'm gonna let you meet your maker or your judge. Is that love? Is that leadership?
All right, caller. Thank you for calling. Our next call coming in. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Cool. Bye.
Good night. Welcome to Make It Talk. You're live.
Good night.
Good night. You're live. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. The problem I think we have in Jamaica, everybody sit down with their mouth shut. The time they must say Mr. Golden must apologize. Why the Jamaica Labour Party don't apologize to the people of Jamaica?
Indeed, that's the
There's a gentleman who took sick and went to the Fallings Hospital on Wednesday. He had a bump under his belly and it burst and feces coming out.
My God.
He was there until yesterday. Nobody looked at him. When his daughter went there on Thursday, she fainted. A second daughter went there on Saturday, fainted. Because the condition they went there and see the father in, they said the dad was in feces all over.
Yes. I gotta go now, my dear. Can you call me back? Because my guest is on now. I've been waiting my guest for a long while. So can you call us back in about 2 minutes, please? In a couple of minutes, rather?
No problem.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have with me now none other than our special guest for the night, former senator, former minister of national security, former minister of foreign affairs and foreign trade, Mr. KD Knight. So, Knight, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, and a very pleasant evening to yourself and your listeners.
Yes, sir. Sir Knight, for those who do not know who KD Knight is, the youngest set of Jamaicans in the diaspora in Jamaica, can you give a little quick synopsis of who KD Knight is?
You mean I am to introduce myself?
No. What I meant, like a quick synopsis of who you are.
Well,
because
I am a past member of parliament. I served in the lower house. That's where one is elected for 18 years. And then I served for 13 years in the Senate, a total of 31 years in parliament.
Wow.
I'm a lawyer by profession. I studied at Howard University in Washington, D.C., where I did a degree in philosophy. And then I went to Canada for a short time, intending to go to law school there, but it was
during the time of the Vietnam War, and they had more applicants from the U.S. than they had as the population of Canada.
Mm.
So they admitted me for the following year. I felt that was too long, so I went off to the UK, and I'm very happy that I didn't get in Canada, because I perhaps would have lived there. Certainly, I would have been there for some long time. Then I went to the UK, studied at the bar,
Yes,
and
sir.
came home as a barrister at law then, attorney at law now. Since we changed the legislation in Jamaica in 1970 something. So I am 6, I think. And
Yes.
I am still active. As a matter of fact, I was in a campaign meeting just now, and I came out for this purpose
Mm-hmm.
because my daughter, Stacey Knight, is the candidate for a constituency called Northeast St. Andrew,
Right.
where she's running against the incumbent Minister Delroy Chuck, who has been there for, I think, 27 years.
Wow, that's a long time tonight.
A long time he has been there. We have been spending some time searching for his achievements, and up to now we haven't found them. So we feel that he will be retired gracefully, and that my daughter will replace him.
Indeed. Mr. Knight, as an elder statesman who has been in politics for many, many years, what is your views on Jamaica's political climate now?
Well, you know, the society is not happy with the government, and it's not happy with the government because promises made have not been kept, and things that ought to be done to make Jamaica a place where one wants to live and do business, they have not been put in place. And some of the infrastructure in the country really needs some looking after. And there are a number of issues. We're unhappy at this stage with the health care that is being provided for citizens. We're unhappy with the state of road infrastructure. We are unhappy with education. We do not believe that enough is being done to have our children properly educated. And the cost of living is high, a multitude of problems. And we feel from all the polls conducted that the majority of the voting population in Jamaica are anxious to see the back of this government.
Mm-hmm. I have with me also my co-host, Headboy. Headboy, welcome to the program. You have a question for Mr. Knight?
No,
Headboy?
more than that, I want to welcome Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight has been an erudite lawyer, a very effective senator, and he was, in my early days in the furor of politics, Mr. Knight was someone I looked up to because the infamous bus tour that Portia Simpson Milan himself led across the island, that was a very good tour because that was that tour that led to the back of the JLP. And so I want to commend Mr. Knight for his hard work and his dedication to the People's National Party. And I think the
Thank you
same will
very
be
much.
done. The same will be done in Northeast St. Andrew. Because
Oh, yes.
I'm looking at your numbers, Mr. Knight. Your daughter's numbers that in Northeast St. Andrew. Delroy Chuck has never been able to poll more than 5,000 something votes in that constituency.
That's correct.
And it seems like you are onto something. I don't want to talk too much of the numbers to give the JLP too much ideas, but it is clear to me that this is a constituency for a long time that the PNP should have been taken more time to give some attention to it. And
Yes.
I believe history may very well be created in this seat. I know the constituency very well. In fact, I have some family members that live there, between Barbican, Boise Lane, yeah, all over
Ah,
in the.
yes. Well, I would be most pleased if at an appropriate time you send me their names,
Of
because
course,
we are
of course.
walking and greeting and meeting the people. My daughter is very active, and one of the things I appreciate about the activity is that she's not simply telling persons what she has planned, but she's asking persons, what do you expect of me when I become the member of parliament? What it is that you would want me to focus on? So it's a two-way stream in this pool of activity from the people and to the people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mr. Knight, I want to shift a little bit to something that is affecting the Jamaican people right now. You're an attorney at law, a King's Counsel, a man who knows the constitution of this country well and the laws of this country. They're pushing down something down the people's throat in Portmore.
Yes.
For Portmore to become a parish.
Yes.
Your views on that, sir?
Well, I don't see, for example, what is the particular advantage at this time for Portmore to become a parish, because what a parish, for example, has to have appropriate health care for the citizens to begin with. There is not a hospital in Portmore. You know, let us put the infrastructure in, and then we move to the end of the game. Don't start at the point where all these needs exist and then you promise to put them in. Put them in and move to the next step, which is to become a parish. If after appropriate consultations with the citizens, that is their desire. Because you know what happens too often is that we who are in the political arena fail to properly take advice from those who we represent. We impose things more rather than listening to the voice of the people, reacting to the voice of the people positively.
Yes.
And that is a failing. And the good thing is that there's a recognition by the People's National Party of today that what is needed is to hear the people, respond to the people, and give leadership to the people.
And that is not being done, Mr. Knight. I, as a Jamaican looking in from the diaspora, I would say Jamaica is becoming, when they do all of this, is becoming a dictatorial state. A dictatorial state.
Well, we are seeing some traits in our prime minister that are evident in a newly elected president in a particular country where he's running haywire and doing all sorts of things. After having said he was going to be a dictator for a day, the changes that he's making are changes that are perhaps beyond the remit of a president and belongs to a Congress. And in Jamaica, we have a prime minister who seems to be of the same mold.
Yes. I want you to listen to something, Mr. Knight, that Everett Warmington said on Emily Shields' show. And I want you to listen to it keenly, Sir Knight, because I personally think that the Jamaica Labour Party has been breaching the constitution of this country. Listen to this, Mr. Knight.
Okay, so let me ask you then, do you think in the discussions on moving the parish boundaries in the parliament, even in the joint select committee, that it would have been tidier to have invited the ECG to first recast the constituency boundaries?
No, not at all. We weren't dealing with constituency, we're dealing with parish. So they can't come into this mix until after the parishes are done.
There's a section in the Constitution that has a very elaborate provision as to how to deal with constituency boundaries, and I'm sure you know it, which is section 67. And it says, as soon as practicable after the House of Representatives first meets, after the appointed day or following any general election, there shall be established a standing committee of the House, consisting of the Speaker as chair, 3 members appointed by the Prime Minister, 3 by the opposition, and their function is to continuously review the number of constituencies and the boundaries of such. Was there such a committee established after the last election?
Yes, I sat on that committee. But there was no need to meet because normally that committee meets after recommendations are sent to Parliament from the Electoral Commission. And we have not received anything like that.
So you don't have any concern, based on what has been done, that there are possible illegalities in the procedure that was used by the Parliament?
Illegality in what? I don't.
Meaning, are you concerned that you're casting the parish boundary without the constituency boundary being moved, an argument suggested by the leader of the opposition, and as a result of that, it makes the law improper and unlawful? Are you concerned about that at all?
What Parliament don't take unlawful action. Parliament is the supreme body that makes the law of this country, so it's illegal there.
Mr. Knight, I want you to comment on that, sir. Your views on what everyone is saying.
He does not clearly understand that Parliament is subject to the Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme law. And he ought to understand, for example, that if Parliament enacts a law which is contrary to the constitutional provisions, a court can declare that that law is unconstitutional and therefore ineffective. In this particular situation, where Mr. Warmington speaks to the position that they the committee received no recommendation from the ECJ. Again, it is a misunderstanding of process, because what ought to happen is that the Constitution is saying that no boundary of a constituency can straddle two parishes. None. So that what ought to have happened is that the committee should have been in contact with the ECJ to see how the ECJ could realign the constituencies and make that accord with the constitutional provision and the parish boundary as is contemplated. So, what kind of offends me is the dismissive way in which he treated the question by Mrs. Crooks. He didn't give it a thought. He just, in a very rash way. Oh, we haven't done this, we did that, because this thing needs appropriate deliberation. It needs a serious minded approach to it, and it should not have at its core some political consequences in favor of a particular political party. It should be something which is ought to be to the benefit of the people of Portmore, and in a wider perspective to the benefit of the people of Jamaica. That's how one ought to approach something like this. What is the benefit to those who live in Portmore? How does that benefit the people of Jamaica as a whole? And then you have your consultation so that persons can express themselves. That's what democracy is all about. Democracy is not just a situation where you have an election and so that's democracy. No. Democracy is where the voice of the people can influence the decision of the elected.
Yes. Head boy, I want you to come on in now if you have a question for Mr. Knight.
Right. Counsel, just a quick question. You would have come up in the 70s and more so the 80s when Jamaica had a tense political culture.
Yes.
The environment was quite rough. My question to you is, how do you view this attempt by the Andrew Holness-led government to circumvent the role of the ECJ in determining boundaries, and what sort of remedy can be done to deal with this situation?
Well, first of all, there has to be a vibrant debate in Parliament on the issue, and that should be initiated by the People's National Party. And the People's National Party, in that vibrant debate, should be representing the views of the people of Portmore as they understand them to be. There also has to be a clear position that if there's a violation of the constitutional provisions, then without hesitation, the judicial branch of government will be asked to intervene to determine whether or not the Constitution has been breached and the consequences of that breach.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, you have another question, Head Boy? Go ahead.
No. Not another question.
Okay.
I'm just giving him thanks. Yeah.
Yes, I want to go back to this clipping again, Mr. Knight, and I want you to listen to what Everett Warmington and Emily Shields is saying. I want you to take your comment on this after we listen to some more of this, sir, because I think Mr. Warmington is misleading the people of this country. And I want you to listen to this, sir.
The issue I said before, Parliament does what it has to do, and then if there are anomalies, then the Electoral Commission put it where it ought to be. And I don't subscribe to that stupid argument about Germany and putting PNP people where. Because that's all I think about. Well, if they are PNP or GLP, whether they are north or south, are they going to vote one day? They vote in their constituency, so that is ludicrous what is trying to say there. Anyway you put them there, they're still voters and they're going to vote. So I don't know what rubbish they're trying to what mistake they're trying to make there.
Do you think that is rubbish, Senator Knight?
Well, Everett Warmington is given to brash statements, not properly thought through utterances. And this is an example of one. Because he clearly does not understand the issue. The issue is there are existing constituencies. There are existing parish boundaries. A constituency boundary in if the constituency is in parish X, let us say, the boundary must be within that parish, so that though it borders with parish Y, the boundary of parish X constituency cannot go over into parish Y and vice versa. And so, what would have been the more reasonable and more rational position would have been to determine the boundary of the constituency which exists to ensure that it conforms with the Constitution in relation to this new creation, because the parish is a new creation. The constituency is not. The constituency exists. But as brash as Mr. Warmington is, I don't think that he would have deliberated on the matter raised by Emily Crooks. He would have been simply looking at it from a political point of view rather than a legal point of view.
So if the People's National Party now, Sir Knight, is taking the government to court with this, I don't want you to really try the court now, because you can, I know you can't, but I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think the PNP will win this?
Put it this way. On the my assessment so far, without having studied it as counsel representing the PNP, where I would go into very deep details and search the web for any kind of analogous situation existing within the Commonwealth with a similar type of constitution. Without that being done, my view is that if the government proceeds as it proposes, then they will find that the courts will disagree with them.
Senator Knight, I want you, well, former senator, I want you to listen to a video here. I'm going to have Headboy come on in back in. I want you to listen to a video here. We're going to drift from Portmore to something else now. As a former Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, take off your PNP hat. You're a Jamaican citizen, an independent, and a former Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. I want you to listen to this video here and tell me your views if Mr. Golden said something wrong based on this, because he was not in Jamaica, he said it on foreign soil. Listen to this, please.
We have a very difficult task ahead of us. But if Jamaica doesn't get a change of government now, I don't know what kind of state we're going to be. You know, because we have a corrupt government and a power-hungry government. And they're supported by the elite. And the media is bought out by them too. So it's not an easy road to trod the road that we are treading, comrades. It is not going to be easy to get them out. Because, you know, the news, the things that we put out don't get covered. You know, even today, there's a poll being run right now. It's a independent. I think it was paid for by some business people. A Don Anderson poll. The key metric in any poll is voter intention. Who do you intend to vote for? That's the key metric. Today they published it on a Saturday, which is the lowest sales of any newspaper today. When it shows that the PNP is 5% ahead. You know, we were at 9 at the end of September, so we have come off a bit. The Labour Party hasn't got any of that. They are where they were. It's the undecided that have grown. In the meantime, they have had their conference, they have had the Spark program, they've had the Reserve Income Tax Credit, which is essentially a $20,000 grant to over 300,000 people. They've just been spending money to try and get themselves back to where they were. And we have been a bit cautious in putting out our ideas because we have found on multiple occasions that they tend to be appropriated by the Labour Party. And then there we have a very difficult task ahead of us.
Mr. Knight, your views on that. Do you believe that Mr. Golden should have never said it on the American soil?
No, I don't think he has said anything because it is not where he is. That is the important thing. It is the audience that's important. And he's speaking to Jamaicans about a Jamaican situation. So having said it, wherever he is, I don't see that offends anything. But if it is pointed out to me what it is that is offensive, then my view could change.
All right. I want you to listen to something else again. Because obviously, the civil society, along with a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Sir Lloyd B. Smith, is calling an opposition leader to apologize. Because he said that Jamaica is in a turmoil. Jamaica is in a crisis where the level of corruption is the order of the day. Listen to what the interview was on Nationwide a couple of days ago.
Dashan Hendricks. Good afternoon. Let me start with you, Mr. President. Your members have been bought out by this JLP government?
Well, I laugh when you ask me because I would find it really and truly egregious if there is any belief among any government or opposition that a media landscape in Jamaica, as diverse as we are, can be bought out. I don't know how you buy out the media in Jamaica. We're too diverse, we're too independent. If you buy one, everybody going to know. If you buy all, everybody going to know. So, I understand that.
The opposition leader seems to be suggesting that because the government has the support of the elites, that may be part of the reason why, they may have the wherewithal to do that.
Well, Ricardo, I don't know. I couldn't answer the question whether or not they have the wherewithal from the elite to buy out the media or not. I honestly don't know. But the accusations that the government has bought out the media is among is a pattern that we are seeing in the political landscape, where both not just the opposition, but both major political parties increasingly resorting to undermining the media credibility when coverage doesn't align with their interest. And so I said it last year that we are expecting to continue to see the rhetoric continue in the way it is going to be. It's going to happen both government and opposition, especially as we are coming into the silly season. But Jamaica as a nation and the media landscape, we are consistently ranked among the top countries globally for press freedom. And so when political leaders make such broad accusations of the media in terms of bias and corruption and being bought out, they are politically eroding the standing and the public's trust in essential democratic institutions the media represents as well.
Dr. Spence?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I heard the comments and I listened to them a couple of times and I wondered, did Mr. Golding come across to you as someone who the party has been saying that they're doing well and they're on course to retake government? Did he come across confident to you in those comments?
Not at all, not at all. I mean, you one of the things you said in your coverage is that he was complaining. I mean, I don't know if you were deliberate with that choice of word, but when you are confident, you don't complain. You acknowledge where the difficulties are. And it wouldn't be the first time that we've heard a party leader say it's going to be difficult, or say to their supporters it's not going to be easy. But this was not said in the same way and in the same tone. He really was complaining. And he was complaining from a very defeated place. He was coming from a place of feeling that he was wronged and that he's being set upon and being marginalized in a way, that the JLP is not being. And we have to be honest about it and say that he said some things that were also blatantly untrue. I mean, the PNP has dominated the news cycle. I remember when I was at a particular news station, the PNP dominated the news cycle, and you never heard the PNP complaining then that they thought the media was being bought out or anything like that. They were obviously flying high, and I remember there was almost a press conference every other day from the PNP camp, and it was always covered, and there was always one or two major news items coming from it. So he said some things that were wrong. I agree with Dashan. What he said about the press as well is dangerous to say. In a democracy like ours, which has always turned on this idea of a free and critical press, I think it is unfortunate that he said what he said in the space that he said it. And for him to complain about our democracy in a place like America now, it means that Mr. Golding isn't thinking. He's not at all thinking. How can you go to America to talk to Americans, even if they're Jamaican Americans in a time like this, and calling our government wicked and corrupt in America at this time in America? It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel as if he's not thinking, and he has lost perspective.
Lloyd B. Smith, you're at the Western Mirror. You have been bought out by the JLP?
I have never been bought out by either the JLP or the PNP. Let me say that very clearly, which is one of the reasons why I quickly exited the political scene after a while, because I will not allow myself to be bought out by anyone. If you look at the history of politics in Jamaica, as far back as I can recall, this is par for the course. Both political parties, when it suits them, have launched various attacks against the media. I think in this case, though, Mr. Golding needs to apologize, and I'll tell you why. As was pointed out by Nina a while ago, he ought not to have made such a statement in another country, especially a country such as the United States, where we know what's happening there now. Secondly, he was overly I mean, you can't make such a sweeping statement. I mean, if he had said some persons or some media, one could perhaps understand, but for him to make this sweeping statement that the media has been bought out, it's most regrettable, and it covers all of us in the media, and I take umbrage for that. Secondly, though, I think it's almost, and it's ridiculous when he then goes on to say that the JLP is being supported by the top echelons of the society. It's the silly season that is upon us, and he has to be very careful that he doesn't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Mr. Knight,
Mm-hmm.
do you think the comrade leader, opposition leader who Jamaica are the political elite an apology?
Let me be very crisp in my response.
Yes, sir.
I understood the opposition leader to be talking about the objectivity of the media in Jamaica. And one would have to be blind or deaf not to accept that there are particular media houses that indeed lack objectivity. There's no doubt about that. And one may quarrel with the phraseology, but the substance is the lack of objectivity. Media houses thrive on advertisement, and there may be a rational reason for believing that some of the media houses do receive a large amount of paid advertisements. And as if the government, what's it called now, JIS, no? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is sidelined. You don't hear very much from them in terms of raw news. And from some of the media houses, raw news is treated in a certain way when commentaries are made on them. So I see the party leader zeroing in on objectivity. Now, secondly, in relation to corruption, I don't think that the average Jamaican can be comfortable with that which is coming out as fact from some of the institutions like the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission has tabled a report in Parliament. And the fact is that that report, from all reports, indicates that there are some 8 persons who are parliamentarians who are unable to complete the forms that are legally provided for and to give their reports to the satisfaction of that Integrity Commission. And so what has come out and has not been denied is that there are 8 parliamentarians who are under some scrutiny in relation to the offense of illicit enrichment. Now, the PNP side has made it pellucid that no one on that side is under any investigation for illicit enrichment. There are only 2 sides. So it stands to reason that the 8 referred to would be from one particular side. There is no doubt that there's some discomfiture, or if I may choose another word, there is some concern expressed by the Integrity Commission in relation to the.
I want to add a personal note, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry about that, Mr. Nat. I don't know why that comment. I do apologize. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
Yes, there's no doubt that there's some discomfiture on the part of the ECJ with the returns submitted by the Prime Minister. One of the consequences of what the society has been told is this, that the Prime Minister wants to have declared by the court a provision dealing with illicit enrichment as being unconstitutional. No, that's odd, because if it is unconstitutional on the advice of the Attorney General, then the step that should be taken by the Prime Minister is to repeal it. Repeal that section. That's the power of Parliament. And I would expect that there would be some other replacement, because parliamentarians and others are not supposed to illicitly enrich themselves.
Yes.
Now, for example, what bothers me too is this. The Minister of Justice has come out to say that he has advised his colleagues to ignore a part of the requirement of the ECJ to ensure probity. Now, I find that most unfortunate when a Minister of Justice does that, because what he's saying is circumvent the law, do not honor the law. And I ask myself, what gives a parliamentarian the right to do so? I can't find it. And if the parliamentarian has that right, why not an average citizen in other circumstances? Why not? But that particular section of the law has not been a favorite section of the JLP. I remember when the Corruption Prevention Act was being piloted in Parliament. One of the representatives of the JLP said that they had received from a lawyer advice that this section was unconstitutional. I was piloting the bill. I asked, who was this lawyer? The lawyer was an American lawyer. Well, I found that a little bit odd, because our constitutions differ, and I had no indication that this lawyer was off fair with our constitution or any Commonwealth Constitution. And my point is this, you know,
Mhm.
I ran afoul of proper parliamentary behavior
Mhm.
because I said that the only time a man should be entitled to kick another man is if he called him corrupt and he was not.
Mm.
Because it goes to the character of the individual, you know. To
Yes.
call a person corrupt and the offshoots of corruption, they have a paralyzing effect, you know.
Yes.
And certainly when it comes to parliamentarians, the paralyzing effect is even greater. It affects the ability of the governing body to use taxpayers' money appropriately
Mhm.
when it is siphoned off in some unlawful way.
Yes.
So I believe strongly in that provision. And I would entreat the Prime Minister, if he has not yet so done, to abandon the approach that he has embarked on. Because our Prime Minister must be seen as one in whom we can place our full trust to do the right thing and to ensure that the right thing is done. That's how I see this thing.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I cannot make any accusations or allegations against any of those referred to because I don't have all the facts available to me. So I make no allegation. I make only a fair comment on that which is publicly known, that there are some persons who are elected members of parliament who have not satisfied the requirements of the law, and that is a cause for concern. There
My
is.
f- sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay. My final thing to you, because I know it's a bit late and I know you have to go. But my
Yes.
final thing to you, sir, is this. I want to play a video. When I saw the video, I know maybe it's somebody who took a WhatsApp message or something and end up playing it and then add your picture to it. There's your voice and everything.
Okay.
But I want to play this and there's something that you said in it, Senator Knight, that resonate with me. And I said to myself, my God, it is playing out right now in front of our face. Listen to this, Mr. Knight.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you the problem. And people don't seem to understand this part of it. Money is not easy to come by. You ask people for donations and so on. They give you some. I don't want to tell you who was Oswest's largest donor. I don't want to tell you who gave him the most money. But I'll tell you this. Much of the money that the Labour had spent in this election was money that they stole from the people themselves. They stole that money and they stored a part of it to use in buying votes. It is not through the generosity of others that they were able to get the whole set of money that they had. This was as a result of them stealing $14 billion from the public purse. 14 billion, that's $4.6 million from every single Jamaican, including the baby, including the beggar who was to pay GCT. And then they took it and they bought my black brothers and sisters. This is a return to slavery. That's what it is. But this time is not the white man buying the black man. It's the black man putting up himself for sale to anybody, whether black or white. My brother, we are going to regret this. I will be gone. I will be gone. But black people going to regret it, because the time is coming when not one single person coming out of North East St. Catherine will be able to become a member of Parliament. Not one. Only the rich, the very rich, will be able to become members of Parliament, to plunder the public purse some more and steal some more and let themselves get richer. I'm told that Michael Manley time gone. My God, my God, why hast thou forsaken us?
Mr. Knight,
Yes,
do you believe right now that we, the Jamaican people, are paying for what you said?
I think so. You know, it is. We have moved to an unfortunate position. Very unfortunate. The art of persuasion has been replaced in the political arena. And the measure of the policy impact on Jamaica's development is not where it ought to be. And so I find that there is not enough discourse on what it is that a political party is bringing to the table. What are the policies? How will those policies change for the standard of living of the population for the better? How will those policies allow persons who are from a certain strata of the society to be participants in the affairs of state and can see a way forward where through hard work, through qualifying themselves, they will be able to exist in some comfort, not splendor, comfort, where their daily requirements can be met without causing stress. Not that they will become rich, because to be rich is not an aspiration of everybody, you know.
Yes.
It is to be comfortable, to be able to provide the necessaries to make existence one which does not create problems for survival.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're looking at, and that's what the overwhelming majority of the people want. And in the issue of, if I may just make a quick comment
Go ahead, sir.
on vote buying. I went on a political platform in the parish council election, and I said on the stage, if you are approached to sell your vote, reject it.
Indeed.
I said further, it is a sign of disrespect when someone comes to you and offers you money to vote for X or Y. It's disrespect. And I made the point further. I said, do you believe they would come to me, KD9, and offer me money to vote for a particular candidate? I said they wouldn't.
Mm.
But they come to you because they don't respect you and believe that them get a few dollars. And so it's not a situation where I am saying,
Yes.
that it's bad if one side does it. But it's acceptable if another side does it. I am saying it is reprehensible behavior. And it changes in a kind of total way what voting means and what it is you are exercising when you go to that polling station. Are you exercising your judgment of who ought to be your representative? Or are you just having accepted payment going to vote for the person who paid you or the agent who did on the part of a candidate? Is that how we choose who our leaders are? The behavior is reprehensible, and anyone caught buying votes should be appropriately punished. That's my position on it. And as to corrupt politicians, I believe in the process. And so a corrupt politician has no less rights than a corrupt individual in the society. And so the process, the legal process, must be brought to bear, and the presumption of innocence is accorded to the politician as it is to the citizen. When, however, the judge declares that he or she has found the politician guilty,
Mr. Knight, sorry, go ahead.
Suffer greater punishment than an ordinary citizen because you're in a position of trust and you're betrayed.
Yes. Do you believe, Mr. Knight, that in our life, well, it happened before where Jack Smith went to prison. Do you believe that will ever happen again in this country? Mr. Knight? Oh Lord, we have lost Mr. Knight.
Hello?
Mr. Knight? Yes, sir. Are you hearing me?
Hello?
Are you hearing me, Mr. Knight?
I'm not.
Are you hearing me, sir? Mr. Knight?
Hearing you.
Oh, Lord. Are you hearing me now, sir?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
hearing you now.
Okay, I'm asking you, do you think that we have seen it before with Jack Smith. Do you think that we'll ever see in our lifetime again a Jamaican politician being bundled and put away for the level of corruption that's going on in this country, sir?
Well, I think that it could happen. I hope it doesn't have to happen, but it could happen because I have trust in the judicial system. I have trust that however difficult it may be, that justice will prevail and that persons who have run afoul of the law, they may get away at a particular point, but that the long arm of the law will catch up with them. And if the long arm of the prosecutorial aspect of the law catches up with them, I think that they will get a fair trial, and the judge who presides will understand the presumption of innocence. I have no doubt in my mind that they do. And having assessed the evidence, if the politician is guilty, then that will be the verdict. And what will be left now is the sentencing after a mitigation plea by the defense lawyer, and that the judge will, give the appropriate sentence that the breach deserves.
Mm-hmm. 2 questions in we go. Your views on the upcoming general election, and do you think that crime is going on in the country, sir?
Put it this way. I think that the PNP will win the next election. And at this moment, had I not been on this program, I would have been in a meeting that I have been in from earlier this evening,
Yes, sir.
planning for Stacey Knight to become the next member of parliament in North East St. Andrew. And that would mean that Delroy Chuck, the present holder and Minister of Justice, that he would be out.
You'll pack his bags and go.
Pack his bags and go. Most definitely. So, that's my view on that.
Yes. Your views on the crime rate. There's a crime is going down. As a former Minister of National Security, your views?
This is going to be a statement I made that a lot of persons are going to disagree with. I happen to trust the statistics put out by the police. I happen to trust the statistics. I don't think that, they are in any way tailored and so on.
Mm-hmm.
What has not gone down is the fear of crime.
Mm.
And that affects the psyche of the individual. So that if you look at the raw numbers, instead of 100 murders,
yes,
you might have 80. And you say, well, that's a 20% decrease. But what you have to look at is that 80 is still uncomfortably high.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fear factor remains. So it is not, and I got into trouble for saying this on the programs when I was minister, it is not just simply looking at the numbers, not just simply that. You have to look at what is the nature of the criminal activity that results in murder?
Mm.
And that affects the psyche of the human being.
And on that note, I want to say thanks to former Minister of National Security, former Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, former Senator, one of Jamaica's eldest statesmen of all time, a man who don't mince words in the Senate, a man who looked on the former Prime Minister in the Manat Phillips inquiry. And you, Prime Minister, it's time for you to pack your bags and go. And I think he's saying to Prime Minister Holness tonight that he must pack his bags and go. Not only that, Stacey Knight is saying to Delaware Truck tonight, get prepared to pack your bags and go. Senator Knight, your final words to your Jamaican people so then we can go.
Go out and vote for the People's National Party. Those who have their votes in Northeast, St. Andrew, go out and vote. Vote for Stacey Knight. The People's National Party is your better choice.
Thank you very much, Sir Knight. Thank you for coming on, sir. Don't be a stranger now to the Make We Talk program, sir. I've been thinking that what we need to do, you have a wealth of knowledge, Senator Knight, and maybe one of these days we should have a program with you where you can, dig deeper into the political arena of Jamaica from when you started till when you end up exiting the political arena, sir.
Well, the invitation has to come from you.
Okay, sir. And I will do that. I'll definitely do that, sir.
And the response to it will be favorable.
Thank you so much, Senator Knight.
Okay.
Have a good night, sir.
Thank you very much.
And all the best to Stacey in her future endeavors in becoming the next member of parliament, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good night, sir. Was former Minister of National Security, the Honorable K.D. Knight, the man that dubbed Sheriff, the man who have served this country well. I want to say thank you all for coming on. Thanks to my producer. Thanks to Dr. KD, Dr. Karen Dunkley. I know I shouldn't say it, but thanks to her who made this possible for Sir Knight to come on. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for those who all made this possible. Thanks to Head Boy for coming on. Thanks to Walking in Divine Purpose. Thanks to all those who made the Make We Talk possible. Until you hear my voice again. As a matter of fact, I think the President of the United States is giving his speech to the Congress. We're going to go over there and watch that. I want to say thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for being a part of this program. May God bless you. May God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Have a great night, everyone. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Good night.
Unity, strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody's not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity, strength, make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody's not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.